Good evening. Live chat 75 here on Brooksy's Bass Corner, coming to you all the way from London town here in the UK. Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. We're here. Hopefully you're there. Hope everything's going well. Hope your bass playing's going well wherever you are in the world and on the planet. You're very welcome. Welcome along. This is Brooksy's Bass Corner. If you're here to talk bass, bass guitars, bass effects, amps, accessories, strings, gig bags, anything to do with bass, great bass players, albums with great bass players on, this is the place. This is the best bass live chat on YouTube. So you're very welcome. Come on in. Don't hang around. Come and join in the live chat. See Dawson Waters, you're here early this week, young man. All the way from Canada. Attendance here, School of Rock. Good to see you. Thank you for joining in. So Live Chat 75, if you've never been here on a Brooksy's Bass Corner live chat before, you're very welcome. We're a very friendly bunch. Please come on, get involved either in the live chat text window, as Dawson has done here, or you can get involved live by video. So if you have a video camera, webcam on your laptop, desktop, whatever you're using, iPad, tablet, obviously other tablets are available, of course, and if you want to get involved and have a video discussion with me and the other lovely people we have here on Brooksy's Bass Corner live chats, then feel free. How do you get involved by video? You send an email. You'll see the ticker running along the bottom of the screen. Send an email to brooksysbasscorner@gmail.com. That'll come through to my email. As soon as I see that, I can send you an invite. Then you click on the invite link, and it will basically put you in the waiting room here, and then I can call upon you, bring you up onto the screen. We can have a chat. If you've got some gear that's not working, or maybe a bass has a problem, or pedals fallen to bits, it's really easy now with the way we're doing the live chats here on Brooksy's Bass Corner. You can come on the screen and you can show me what the problem is. It used to be all these fine people, as you see in the live chat window, they had to type their messages out. You can now come on by video and show me what the problem is. And if I can help, I'm more than willing to do so. If I don't know how to fix it, I'll open it up to one of the fine people here on the live chat. So as I say, if you've not been here before, we've got the text live chat window. We've got the video live chat, of course, as well. We have in the description box below the video window, you'll find timestamps. So if you're watching this video after the event, by around 11 a.m. tomorrow morning on Wednesday, there'll be timestamps. So whatever we discuss on tonight's video, you'll be able to jump through to those sections and segments of the video using the timeline. You'll see little breaks in the timeline that corresponds with the timestamps that are in the description box. So if you don't want to watch the whole live chat after the event, just want to get to certain points, you can do that. Under there, you'll find affiliate links for StreamYard, vidIQ, and Top Cashback. So if you're based here in the UK, you can use the affiliate link for a Top Cashback account. Over 15 years, I've saved about £9,000. So it's real money. Comes back to you if you buy anything online using the retailers that are on Top Cashback. So feel free to use that. If you use that affiliate link, set up an account, and then buy something, you'll get £10 for free money. And that's how that link works. You'll also find affiliate links for Amazon worldwide. So .co.uk.com, all around the planet, Europe, Asia, Middle East, America. It's all there. All the links are there. You'll also find links for Thomann here in Europe, Gear for Music, and Andertons here in the UK. So if you've got any bass related purchases, you can use any of those online retailers. Click on the affiliate link. It'll take you through to the retailer's site, find the item you're after, add it to your shopping basket, go through with the transaction, and the channel will get a very small affiliate commission. I do mean small, but they all mount up to create a bigger amount. So if you want to help the channel, help support what we're doing here on Brooksy's Bass Corner, you can do that using the retailer affiliate links. Under that, you'll also find Brooksy's Bass Corner merch, links for Spreadshirt and Spreadshop, which work again all over the world. So if you want to help the channel, you can buy caps, there are hats, t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, loungewear, water bottles, mouse mats. I mean, just anything and everything. There's literally, I think, about 150 products, 15 designs. Feel free, check the items out. You can help the channel by buying the channel merchandise. Under there, you'll find the social media links. So you'll find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, Be Real, Reddit, Quora, TikTok, Discord. I think there's one more. I might have missed one more, but hey, have a look in the links. You'll find them all there. If you're here on the live chat window, obviously you've got the video window. If you're on the mobile app, the live chat window is directly below. So put your cursor pointer in the text box, type your question or comment, press send, and it will appear here in my chat window. If you're on the desktop version, it's that way. It's the scrolling live chat window that's on the right-hand side. Again, put your insertion point or your cursor into the text box, type your question or comment. It'll appear here in my live chat feed. Next to that, you'll find the emoji icon. So feel free to give the emojis a complete hammering. The algorithm loves seeing emojis on live chat. So if you want to help the chat, help this video, it'll project it out to more people, then feel free to get involved with the emojis. Also, next to that, you'll see a rectangle with the dollar symbol. That's called Super Chat. It allows you to make a financial donation to the channel if you wish to do so. You don't have to. The videos are free. Every video here on Brooksy's Bass Corner is free to watch, but we are a monetized channel. So if you want to keep the channel going, help me out, help to buy all the wonderful stuff that you see here reviewed and demoed on the channel, all the equipment, the subscriptions that keep everything all ticking over, you can do that using the Super Chat facility. Underneath the video window, you'll find a thumbs up and a thumbs down. If you're enjoying the video, enjoying what the channel does, please give it a thumbs up. It's very important for the algorithm. If you're going to give it a thumbs down, then please leave a comment so I know what you didn't enjoy or what isn't working for you, because I can't make the videos any better if I don't know what the problem is. So that's how that works. You'll also find icons there that allow you to share the video out to social media, email, websites. There's also a facility called Super Thanks, which works exactly the same as Super Chat, but it exists on every single video here on the channel. So again, if you see a video and it helps you, or you get some information out of it, or I'm doing a workshop video and I basically point you in the right direction to solve a problem with your instrument or a pedal, feel free to hit the Super Thanks button. It's very much appreciated. So there we go. Let's get into the live chat, see who we've got on this evening. So Dawson from Canada, good to see you. Visog, evening, sir. Good to see you too. Evening, all bit crackly. Is the sound a bit crackly for everyone? Sound is very bad. Okay, bear with me 2 seconds. Let's see if this helps. And see if that helps. Does that improve things? There's a facility on my audio interface that was turned on. Okay, let's go with that. Is that better? Is the sound better now? I'm going to scroll through the live chat and I'll get down to you guys replying to me. So Stacy in North Carolina, good to see you. Steffi from Germany, good to see you. Audio is very distorted, sound is scratchy. Okay, let me scroll down. There we go. Sound sorted. Excellent. Okay. It's gone nice and clear. I think that might be a StreamYard over Wi-Fi thing. As you'll see, I'm in my regular position here, not on the desktop. Been frantically busy this week. So I was hoping to get this all happening over there on the opposite side of my office. Wasn't going to happen. Just hasn't happened this week. It will be very shortly. Then we'll be going on to a wired connection. So hopefully that will improve things. Visog. Oh, it's gone nice and clear. Very good. Stacey saying hello to everyone. Juice, good to see you. Sound has settled. Sound is better now. Blame Lewis. Welcome. Good to see you all. Thank you for joining in. So round up since last week. What have I been up to? So I remember. The weeks are just flying by at the moment through this summer. Whizzing, I think, is the general description. So on Saturday, I was expecting to do a gig and applied for loads of gigs on Facebook. For whatever reason, I just didn't get one. So I ended up doing a 6-hour rehearsal with Uncle Funk for our new theatre show, which went very well. It's a lot of graft, but went very well. We got another one this weekend. And then Sunday, I had a Platinum ABBA tribute show at the Princess Theatre in Hunstanton on the North Norfolk coast, which was a resounding success. It was an absolute blast. Crowd were fabulous. If you were there, hope you enjoyed the show. We certainly enjoyed playing it. The only downside to that gig is the 3 hours plus each way that it takes to get there. It's a bit of a trek, but the show was well worth it. So that was all good. So this week I've got another long trek. I'm going to northwest Wales to a town called Bangor, and I'm doing a Queen tribute at a festival in Bangor. It takes 4.5 to 5 hours each way. It's a summer of long drives this year. I can truly say that. I've been all over the place, and it's a long old drive, but hopefully the gig will be fabulous. And then Sunday we have the Uncle Funk rehearsal. So it's all go, really, which kind of explains the lack of new content on the channel, and I wholeheartedly apologize. Every week we do the live chat, and I think I'm going to get a couple of videos out that week, and it just hasn't happened because I'm learning stuff with the Uncle Funk rehearsals. There's a lot being learned. Lots of keyboard bass going on, so I've got to get all the parts right. I've got to get the right sounds. And if any of you saw last week's live chat, you know I was sort of debating which 5 strings I might be using and other basses that I'm going to bring into that equation. So that's an ongoing process between now and sort of the end of October when we do our first show. So rehearsal, I took 3 basses, probably be some other basses going this week, and I've got to get synth patches sorted out on my synth pedals. So there's a lot going on. So that's why there isn't so much regular content going up, but there will be. I'm filming stuff. I just don't have the time for editing at the moment, which is that's the most time intensive part of producing a video. So we'll get there. We'll get there. George, I've got to read that properly. Gandara from Chile. Good to see you. Good afternoon. Staying for a few minutes due to a meeting. No problem. Good to see you, sir. Visog, Bangor, lovely place in a university town indeed. Hope you get the weather for the festival. It's meant to be very nice. 24 and sunny, it looked like on the weather app earlier. So hopefully that will continue by the time I get to Saturday. So I'm just checking. Are the visuals okay? Is the sound okay now? Are we all good? I need to check this before we do the next bit. I have plans for this week's live chat. So just checking in with you all. The visual is fine and the sound's fine. Steffi says yes. Great. Okay. So what we've noticed in the past couple of weeks doing the live chat is when I plug a bass in, suddenly either the laptop or StreamYard decides to throw a bit of a wobbly. And then all the sound gets put out and the camera stops working and the audio interface picks up another microphone from the camera and it all goes to pot. Listening back to the last couple of live chats when I've been playing the bass through the audio interface on the assumption you would get a much clearer signal of a bass if I'm demonstrating. That hasn't been the case. That I've thought the sound is a bit wishy-washy. Doesn't sound so good. So we're going to revert to running through this SWR Super Redhead. Hopefully that might work a little better. I'm hoping. It's an experiment. I have here tubs of pedals because I've bought a new pedal in the last 2 days. I've got loads of pedals here in tubs at my feet. So in the past couple of weeks, David Gill from South Carolina was asking me about Octave pedals, and we've been talking chorus pedals and all sorts. I can get them out the box and we can fire them up. You're going to hear them coming through here, not through the audio interface. Okay. So I'm happy to take requests for pedal demos tonight. We've got the ever wonderful Betsy bass from the Bass Centre here in the UK. That's the main demoing bass this evening. And I'm happy to report I have some new demo basses coming from the Bass Centre for review later this week. A new signature Bassmaster. So it's part of the Bassmaster series that they have at the Bass Centre. A very distinguished British bass player, new signature model coming in. And then over the next few weeks, probably months, there's going to be another load of basses. So they're coming in for demos, reviews. You will get an unbiased review. If I say the bass has a problem or an issue, I'm going to tell you about it. If I think it's fabulous, all singing, all dancing, and you couldn't buy better for the price, I'm going to tell you that. There's no bias when it comes to reviews here on the channel. I don't get paid for writing reviews, demoing basses, doing the video reviews. I've never been paid for a review in my life. It's not going to start now. So if you come to Brooksy's Bass Corner and I'm reviewing and demoing a piece of equipment, you're going to get my unbiased opinion. So if I don't think it's good, you will be informed of that. I don't want people buying gear saying, your video said, you said that was fabulous. You said that bass was amazing. You said that pedal is like the best there is. And then they buy it and it's not. And I'd hope that anyone that's followed my reviews over the years for the magazines that I've written for will know that if I say something's good, then it probably is. And if it's rubbish, there's a reason why I've said it's rubbish. So there'll be a load of that. But anyway, the Bass Center have got some instruments coming my way this week. So they'll be up on the channel. Oh, I would imagine within the next 10 to 14 days once they're here. So I'll be doing the filming once we get the weekend out of the way. They could be appearing next week, so we will see. And I've got some pedals here from Flatley Pedals. Hi, Paul, if you're watching. Those will be going up very shortly as well. There's a couple of Anaconda bass reviews that are still outstanding, all filmed. Just got to finish off the last tiny bit of editing, do the promotion, and those will be up live as well. Blame Lewis, have you seen the new Sire Stingray copies? They look sound the business for 450. I haven't. That's news to me. But then I'm not kind of someone who keeps up to date. I'm not someone that keeps up to date with every release that Sire come out with, because they do seem to sort of fill the market with a lot of gear. And I find companies like that very hard to sort of keep tabs on. But I will check them out. So note to self, Mike, when you're editing this video up tomorrow, doing the timestamps, doing the advert placement, check out the Sire Stingray copies. I will do that, Blameless. Thank you for the heads up. So the general theme of tonight's live chat, I've decided that we're going to start having like a weekly topic. We can talk about all things bass. You got problems, issues with your gear, looking at new pedals, looking at new basses. We can still cover all of that. But what we're going to do, because I've found that the live chats seem to really fire up in YouTube if I create a title that isn't just live chat 75 and then the date. If I create a title that's based around what we're talking about, suddenly that video takes off. Last week's live chat is the best performing live chat for quite a while. Probably because I was talking about trying to learn loads of songs in one hit, which I did for a function band 2 weeks ago. And I was talking also about the time 17 years ago when I had to learn 43 songs for a band, and I had 6.5 hours to do it, and I did it. And I was trying to, in that live chat last week, trying to talk people through how I did that. So this week, our topic of discussion, as well as everything else bass, we're going to talk about your dream bass. Now, it could be anything. It might be a cheap bass. It might be an expensive bass. It might be a mid-range bass. You might already own it. It might be a bass that you played that you never managed to buy. Perhaps you tried it in a shop and it was just too expensive. So I want to know, you fine people out there in YouTube land and the regulars here on the Brooksy's Bass Corner live chat, what's your dream bass? What's the best bass you've ever played? Or is it a bass that you haven't even played? Is it something that you kind of aspire to and you've never actually seen one in a shop? And until maybe you've got the money to go and have one custom built, it's going to remain, in theory, a dream bass. Maybe you already own it. Maybe you've bought your dream bass. Maybe you've got one bass guitar that is everything you could ever possibly want. Let me know. Put your insertion point in the text box. Let me know what your dream bass is. Have you got it? Have you played one in a shop? I could actually list probably about 5, which would be basses I've tried. I think I've probably got 1 or 2 here that have fit into my bracket of my dream bass. I don't think in my life I will ever play one bass that just slays everything else, that is the bass of my life. But I've played quite a few. I've demoed a lot for the magazines. I've played so many basses in shops over the years. One notable thing, and it's not going to come as any surprise to you regulars here, is that for me, one of the best basses I ever played, and I wish I'd had the money to buy it because it's probably going to be out of my reach now for the rest of my life, was and I can remember all the facts. It was that indelible a memory. So in February 1993, there was, or there still is, a shop in West Croydon called Rock Bottom. It's the place I bought my very first bass amp from. I bought my first bass rig from. I don't think I've ever bought a bass from there. Or I certainly didn't, and I haven't been there in years. I mean, God, last time I went into Rock Bottom would have been 1998, I think. So another notable fact for Rock Bottom was that's where Lee Pomeroy, bass player, would take that, ELO, Yes, the Anderson Bruford, sorry, I'll start that again. Anderson Rabin Wakeman band. He plays, I mean, he just does everything. That's where I first met Lee. Lee sold me my Hartkey rig when they just come out in 1992. Been a friend ever since. I don't see him very often. We don't chat very often, but occasionally we might swap messages on social media. We always get on. Never had a problem with each other. And he actually led me down the path to getting my second string deal, with Picato Strings here in the UK back in 1997. Just gave me a set and said, try them, see what you think. And they blew me away. But Rock Bottom was a real top place. I don't know what it's like now. I haven't been in there for so long. I know it's still going. But anyway, there was a guy that used to go in there. I think, and this bit I can't remember. It's a bit hazy. His name was Frank. He may have been called Frank Black, possibly. And I think he was based around the sort of South Surrey, very South London, maybe sort of going in towards Kent. Kent rings a bell. Anyway, he had spent a small fortune getting a Mark King signature Alembic Series 2. Basically a complete copy of Mark's Cocobolo Series 2 Alembic from like the 88 period. Literally down to the finest detail. I don't know how much he spent on it. It would have been a lot of money. It was medium scale, so it wasn't the long scale. Medium scale, LEDs, Cocobolo front and back, all the bells and whistles. It was meant to be his dream bass. I bumped into that guy. Either he'd already put the bass in like a week or two before and he was coming to check up on it, but he was basically trading it in to buy a red Kubicki Factor. And obviously I had my pink Kubicki Factor. We kind of hit it off and I had the pink one with me. And he was like, oh, this is great. This is great. I said, what are you here to buy something? He said, well, I have just traded in this Alembic Mark King and I want the red Kubicki that they've got here. And I didn't know they had that there. So that what was going to happen was he was going to take the Kubicki, and then once they sold the Alembic, he would get some cash in his pocket as well. The bass was amazing. The Alembic was just outstanding. I would have been 21, coming up to 21. I was a student. I didn't have nearly £3,000 to buy it. I think it was priced at £2,899, so £2,900. So you're looking at the best part of £3,000 for that. I was a student. I didn't have £3,000, and but it played like butter. He'd basically spec the whole thing top to bottom, and it had an amazing neck. The tones on it were to die for. It had all the bells and whistles, everything, and yet it was up for £3,000. But then I guess back then, where are we, 31 years ago, the price of buying a new one was less. So I think he'd done it through, there was a place in Tunbridge Wells. Was it the American Guitar Centre? I think they might have been, they wouldn't have been the UK distributor. It would have been the Bass Centre. So he would have done that deal through the Bass Centre, I think. So you would have got various sort of distributor discounts and what have you. It still would have been an expensive bass, but anyway, he was trading it in. So that would have been one of my dream basses. I still rue not buying that. I'm never going to get a Series 2 of that caliber for a remotely decent price. Again, probably. You just don't see them. Don't see them very often. And if you do, everyone knows what they go for on eBay and online. And you're going to be lucky if you saw change out of £10,000 for a Series 2. And to buy a new one, I mean, we're looking at close to £50,000, I guess. So it's the way it is, isn't it? So that would have been one of my dream basses. Very lucky that I've got some fabulous things here. I've only got one custom instrument. It's exceptional. It's very good. Not sure it's my dream bass, but it, you know, my 4-string Roomer, my GB Roomer, is outstanding. It's one of my elite instruments. My Status Empathy, the red one, because I've done so much work with that, and the GB as well. I'm just looking along the instruments here, thinking dream basses. My Kubickies are up there, you know. The Alembics I've got are fabulous instruments, maybe just a little long for me, a little long and a little heavy, but the tones are remarkable. So I'll tolerate the length and weight issues. But yeah, you know, I don't actually. That Alembic left such an impression on me, and Series 2 just has tones that you're not going to get out of the 2 Alembics that I've got. Close-ish, but not the same. So yeah, let me know your dream basses. Maybe you own them. Maybe you've played them. Maybe you've never even got your hands on what you think is your dream bass. But that's the topic of discussion for tonight, along with anything else bass related that you want to talk about. Let's see what the chat says. Visog saw the video from Anderton's. This is regarding the Sire Stingray copies. Sound and look great. That's going to seriously hit Ernie Ball if those Sires are seriously good. George Gandara, I love the Squire Bronco. You own one. There you go. Is it your dream bass though, George? That's the question. Good enough for your skills. Okie dokes. Visog, lots of money, 3K back then for the Alembic. It was. And it's all relative because now you look at it and, you know, I've just paid a significant amount for the Alembic Persuader that I bought a couple of weeks ago. It's a different, you know, we're 31 years on. So, you know, 2,900 in 1993 money was a serious amount of wedge. Not that it isn't now, but times have moved on and the value of a quid is a little different. But that bass, because Frank had spec'd it to like the nth degree, and obviously he clearly been in conversation with the people at Alembic because he wanted this exact copy of what Mark had. But for some reason, he didn't keep the bass long. He just didn't keep it all that long. I'm wondering if maybe he'd inherited a bit of money and thought, that's my dream bass, I'm going to spec it out. And when it came, it was like, I can't get on with it. Too big, too heavy, too long, even though it's medium scale. I did have his phone number for a couple of years, but this was before social media, and I don't think we kind of touched base again. Frank, if you're out there, if you traded in a Mark King Alembic at Rock Bottom in Croydon, join in the chat. Even if you see this a couple of years later on Catch Up, and let me know. George Gandara, due to my hand size, I'm in the short scale basses. That's cool, George. No worries. No worries at all. So yeah, so this is Brooksy's Bass Corner live chat 75 live chats. Can't believe it. Actually, we would be probably over the 100 mark if we'd been doing the live chat since Christmas, but obviously we didn't. So yeah, so if you want to join in on the live chat tonight by video, you can send an email. Look at the ticker at the bottom of the screen. Email brooksysbasscorner@gmail.com. As soon as I see your email, I'll send you an invite. There's Dawson sent me a request. I'm going to send him an invite, and he'll come up on the screen very shortly. To L, actually, let me just do that. There was a guy last week. What was his name? Hold on. El Bacapaco, and we'd never seen him before here on the live chats. He asked me about Heathkit amps. He'd won one, I think, on eBay or in a competition. I did check it out. They're quite old. Well, I say old, maybe 80s based, and going back a bit further. I did check some out online. They look substantial bits of kit, probably not too dissimilar to some of the vintage Carlsberg kit that we used to have here in the UK. Probably not my cup of tea, but I will take it from you that if they sound great, then that's the opinion I'm going on. Right, just bear with me, Dawson. I'm just going to get you an invite here, sir. There we are. We'll get you up here live and on screen. If anyone would like to join in the live chat, let me know. Send an email, brooksyspaccorner@gmail.com. We'll get you up. Hopefully all the sound will be working a little better tonight, and we won't have too many gremlins, which would be great. Let me just check everything's still fine with the camera, microphone. Yeah, we're all good. Excellent. There we are. Blame Lewis, how much were the Status Series 2 when they first came out around running in the family time? Well, Series 2s, I think, came out before that. I think they came out around 85, 86. So they would have been, I think, around 1,300, pounds, maybe. I'm sure if I go online, I can find out. Well, here we go. Let's have a look. Let's have a little look, shall we? Original Status Series 2 base prices. Let's have a look. It was certainly towards the £1,500 mark. I could go into the State Eye forum and look at the have a look at the promotional materials. Okay. Not finding anything that's jumping out on there. Okay, let me have a look on State Eye. There will be some things because I'll also see reviews on there. State Eye being let's see if it pops up. There we go. They have a resource section. Yeah, that's the fella. Right. That's the more modern stuff. So we need to go back. Gotta go back in time there, Buster. So GMTs 82 Series 2 bass guitars. Here we go. GMT. Let's have a look. See if there's anything with prices on there. Ah, here we go. Is that? Right. I might have something for you here. No, I want that one. No, next one. That's it. I want to zoom in on that, please. Oh, you can't. It doesn't list the prices. Anyway, looks like 1982. So let's see if we can find a couple of reviews for them. Sorry, I've got to duck down because the microphone's in the way. Okay. Let's see what I can find for you. It's got stuck in there, right? I'm going to have to go back down there. So, yeah, load more. Lots of it. Okay. Series 2 review from 1984. Let's have a look on there. So there'll be a price on there somewhere. Recommended retail approximately for a GMT status bass Series 2 in March 1984 was approximately £1,000. So not that expensive, although at the time it would have, you'd have felt that in your pocket. Yeah, £1,000. So yeah. Yes. Dawson Walters, request sent. I can't see you in the holding window. Do you have the email? I have sent it. You let me know, Dawson. You should have it. Should have come through. There we go. I can see you, man. Let's add you. Right, talk
Hello.
to me.
Check 1 2
Again. It's doing that again, isn't it? Let's see. Right. Stay there, Dawson. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to unplug my audio interface and we'll come back.
Okay.
I can hear you now. It's amazing that as soon as I bring someone onto the, I can hear you.
Check 1 2.
Yeah. How you doing?
Good. How about you?
Yeah, rocking and rolling. You had a good week?
Yeah, awesome week. I talked to one of the local DJs. He has over 50 years of experience in radio. From his name is Pat Porter from Giant FM, and so he's going to help me set up a local, be part of the local radio station.
Excellent. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, and then one of the themes I'm going to be talking about is Canadian rock. So obviously, I'm going to start with Rush, and then talk about Geddy Lee and his bass magic.
Excellent, excellent. Are you going to be presenting? Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, super.
I'm going to have a radio spot.
So when's that start?
Probably next month.
Oh, great. Excellent. 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 Let us know when. We'll give you a big shout out.
Yeah, we're also looking for sponsors too, if you know anyone who wants to sponsor as well.
Well, I'll open that up to the world of YouTube land because we're based in the UK. So, yeah, if you're based in Canada and you want to do some sponsorship, head on over to Dawson. Good luck with
awesome.
that. Hope it all goes well, man. Are you going to be? Are you going to have? Is it your own show, or are you working with another presenter?
I'm going to have my own show.
Excellent, excellent. Oh, but you're excited about that.
Yes.
Excellent. Good work. Good work.
So you asked us what our. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go first.
Okay, so you asked us what a bass do we want? I think I would want the Fender jazz bass.
Which one though? There are many.
It's probably just the black and white one that Geddy Lee uses.
You want a Geddy Lee signature?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's based on it. Is it a 72 or a 74? But there are the thing is when people say I want a jazz bass, it's like, well, do you want a 62? Do you want a 60? What about 64, 66, 71? You don't want an 80s one because they weigh a ton. They sound dreadful. And then you get all the signature models in the 90s. There's loads of them. So
There's got to be a 78 model. Is there a 78 model?
every year. I
Okay,
think
it's that one.
because Marcus Miller had a 77 or has a 77, and then after that they became really heavy, like in the late 70s, 78, 79, 80, 81, and they started to do very odd colors like orange and I mean, you just got to go back through a Fender color catalog for the late 70s, early 80s. It was trying to bolt itself on with like new wave stuff and punk and what have you. So rather than the traditional sunbursts and the natural finish ones and the classic car colors, they were starting to move the color schemes on a bit.
Yeah, they had the turquoise one. They had like the new wave turquoise. They kind of moved away from their original sound once they hit the 80s.
That's it. Visog here on the live chat says, no, don't get a Geddy Lee jazz. Get the Rick, not the jazz for Geddy prog goodness. So maybe you need both. But then you see, I have issues with Rickenbackers. Not that I've ever owned one. I haven't. I've reviewed a couple, all very good. But the problem is some of the design aspects on it. I know they sound great on record, and Chris Squire's sound is amazing. Geddy's sound is amazing. Lemmy played one. I get all of that, but the bridge needs to be bombed. Someone should collect up all the Rickenbacker bridges, put them in a field and bomb them, because they're awful. They're so hard to maintain. They're not built for ease of use. They're built as this big chunk of metal, and none of it makes any sense. And anyone that watches Dave's World of Fun stuff, you'll know he's not a Rickenbacker fan. And he basically dissects these basses, and every time one comes into his workshop, he's like, I can't believe it, I've got another Rickenbacker. Why are people buying these things? But they have some idiosyncrasies about them that make them not that great, but it's an iconic sound, you know, and an iconic look. Nothing looks like a Rickenbacker. So
no. Yeah, you have quite the handful of those ones.
Yeah. If something goes wrong with the bridge, you're stuck. Really, there are things you can do, but it's not easy. It's not like a lot of the bridges on like a Fender or a Gibson or standard bass bridges. It's very idiosyncratic, is what I was trying to say. But yeah,
I was in Port Colborne, Niagara, south of Niagara Falls, and I was in a music store. They had a Fender jazz bass that is probably from the mid 2010s or something. Okay. When I played that right away, it just felt great. I was able to play like licks I wasn't able to play before, and do some legato lines, and you know, sometimes when you just pick up a bass, it just feels right.
Was that to do with the neck dimensions?
Probably the neck. I think, well, to me, the neck felt too big. It felt kind of too fat almost, and it had a really big E string on it. It was kind of hard to really play some chords on it. But I was like, wow, this is what Geddy Lee feels like when he's playing that bass.
It's very different. If you look through his the instruments he used, you know, jazzes, Ricks, Steinbergers, Wals, they're very different. You know, those are very different tones across the board, and I think that's why you get a lot of Rush fans who, at the time, probably were accepting of the bass sounds he had in like late 70s, early 80s, through the 80s, until he came back to jazzes in like the mid 90s. But because Rush had such a significant period once he went back to using jazzes, that became the standard by which his bass tones judged on. So you get a lot of people going, oh, his use of Steinbergers was awful, and the sound from his Wal wasn't that great. Well, you know, Geddy Lee Wals, or if you've had one that's based around his Wals, they go for a lot of money. So,
yeah,
you know, Wales have a very particular sound of their own. It's not going to sound like anything else. So, you know, that's kind of the way that works. I'm just checking the messages. Steffi will be right back. Very good. Stacey Ann's giving us a thumbs up saying hello. Cool. Okay. So what bass is on your radar? Is there anything you're looking to buy?
I don't have any on my radar right now. I'm just kind of quite satisfied with with what I have already. But if I were to get one, it's obviously at a more reasonable price. I would probably
Yeah.
say the Thunderbird.
Oh, what, a Gibson Thunderbird?
I th- I believe so. That's what it's called. Is that the one that Nikki Six
Yeah.
plays? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got to
Well,
be that one.
okay, right. Let me give you a heads up. Okay, so Nicky Six eventually moved over to using Spectres at various points in his career. There is,
Okay.
I can't remember the exact model. It's an N. Is it an NSX? Someone here will know. Someone will tell me the right number. So basically, there's a Spectre version based around a Thunderbird. That's an option, and you see them come up occasionally. Now, where you are in Canada, you've got Dingwall guitars, which are fabulous. They have a bass called the D-Rock, which is based on a Thunderbird. I severely suggest you take a look, because the price of a D-Rock is either going to be comparable or less than a Gibson Thunderbird. And I think you would really like the Dingwall.
Yeah, I could probably pick one up for like $500 or $600. So it's
Might
like
be
a
a bit more.
mid-range.
Oh, what, the Gibson?
Yeah, the Gibson Thunderbird.
Oh,
I think
okay.
there was like a lower
Right.
model of
Yeah, there'll be an
that.
Epiphone as well.
But yeah, the Epiphone, that was the one. Yeah.
Yeah, the Dingwall won't be that cheap. Let me just, I'll tell you what, I'll put a link here in the live chat for you, and you'll be able to check it out. Dingwall D-Rock. In fact, I'm going to put two videos up there. One is the standard D-Rock, and the other one is the Hellboy D-Rock, which now you can't get unless you buy a second-hand one, but occasionally they pop up. You might want to just have a look. Let me just get that link for you. Hold on. And I will put a link in the timestamp section for the fine people watching this after the event. So this is the D-Rock standards. So that's that one. And let's do the Hellboy. Is that part one or is that part two? Oh, it's that one. But yeah, they're in the right order, because there were two videos for the Hellboy, because there were so many tones I couldn't cover them all in one video. It would have been about 2 hours long. So if anyone wants to check those out, if you've got any sort of fascination with Dingwall D-Rock basses, there's two links for videos here on the channel where I've done demos, reviews. Pleasure. Check them out. I think you'll like them.
My name is Dawson, so they call me D-Rock.
Ah, you need a D-Rock bass, clearly.
Yeah.
Clearly. So I said earlier, I bought a pedal in the past couple of days, so I've managed to pick up one of these. So that's not going to give it away, but some people will know it's a Source Audio pedal. I've picked up a Mercury Flanger. So I've been after one of these for a while. Big fan of Source Audio. There will be a load of demos and reviews of their pedals appearing very shortly. I'm going to be using a load very shortly as well. So I picked this up from Bass Direct here in the UK yesterday. Here today, very nice brushed aluminium case. All the usual stuff. You've got stereo inputs and outputs. And the lovely thing with these is you can connect it up to the app. What's it called? Neuro app. And you can go into all the settings and tailor it how you want it. So I'm going to plug this in a little later, and we're going to run it through this SWR Super Redhead, and you'll be able to hear it in all its glory. And as I said earlier, I've got a couple of boxes of pedals here. So if anyone wants to talk about chorus pedals, octave pedals, I can do other ones. I'm probably going to have to go on camera to go that way to get to my boxes that I've got them in. But I've got a load of chorus, octave, what's in there? And the filters, I think. I've got filter pedals there. So if anyone wants to hear demos, we were talking to David Gill last week, the week before, about octave pedals. We can do all of that. So yeah, there we go. Let me just check the comments. So we're going there. So where are you off to, Dawson? You're a man on a mission.
Man on a mission. I just went from a doctor's appointment. Now I'm going up to beautiful Niagara-on-the-Lake.
Nice.
Gonna take a bus up and down the parkway, get some nice scenery, enjoy the summertime. Right now I have my my Green Day shirt on.
Hey. There we go. Very good.
This is from the tour. So I seen them in Chicago in 2017. So I was in the first row for that one.
Nice. Good work.
What was it like playing I think it was the Mike Dirnt P bass, because that must be a pretty heavy bass.
Yeah, I'll get it for you. Hold on, it's just here to my right. Let me get it out the rack. Bear with me, people. Oi, oi, oi. Two seconds. Now, I don't have a pick. They're on the other side of the room. And it's got flat wounds on, not round wounds, but it's allegedly vintage white. Mike calls it margarine yellow. I think he's right on that. The pick guard has been changed. It's a black perloid guard.
Wow.
I'll plug it in. Wait me a minute. So like I say, it's got flats on it. So you're not going to get the snarly Mike Dirnt tone, but you'll hear what it does. Just tune it up. Oh dear. It's been a while since it's been played. That should be it. There we are. Booty. Hope you can all hear that. It's a very smooth play because they're flats, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not getting all the snarl and bluster that you get with a set of round wounds on there, still round wounds. But it does all your standard precision kind of stuff. So with the tone rolled off, yeah. Can you hear that?
Oh, I hear that. Yeah, it sounds great.
Oh. There's no foam mute on here or anything deadening the strings. It's just the way they are. Root sound flats. So yeah.
It's got like a nice rounded tone, kind of rich, and also it really has the low end to it that really helps out. It helps round up the rest of the sound.
Yeah, and if I add the tone in. I've not got another precision that sounds like it. The FSR is close, but that's a different kind of heavy focus mid-range, like spikiness, because that's got an ash body. It's got an alder body, but it's got a 59 split single coil in it, which is really pointed when you've got round wounds on. It kind of comes out a bit when you open up the tone control, but it's great. You know, it's a very thick neck. It's I'm trying to show you the profile on the camera. It's thick. It is like playing a baseball bat. But it's done loads of gigs with me, so it stays in the collection, you know.
Yeah, that Thunderbird. When I picked that one up, it sounded great. My fingers were just flying. I was able to just basically shred on that one in the guitar and the local music store.
Oh yeah, As long as it's not shredding your fingers, you don't want.
No. I was a little bit rough, but just got to develop some of the calluses on there.
Well, just for info, Dingwall are based in Saskatoon.
Okay.
Don't know how far that is from you.
Oh, that's pretty far.
Canada's a big place. Yeah, okay. But yeah, I'm sure that you'll find some in some music stores in Canada, because it's not like there are too many brands that come out of Canada in terms of basses. So, you know, if you see some, check them out. Very comfortable.
Do you ever just pick up a guitar and just start playing the riffs on it? Because like some guitars you pick up, you're like, okay, that one's okay, but then you pick up another one and you just start playing all these different riffs on it.
For me, because I've all the demo work and review work that I did for the magazines, I don't really play. I'll pick a bass up and I'll just frimic around on it. I'll play things that my fingers will naturally play, and within 2 or 3 minutes, I'll know if something is responsive or whether it's the sort of thing that's going to appeal to me or not. So I'll do some, you know, just some random things. There's no structure to it. Sometimes I might play a song that if I've been learning a load of stuff for a band and it's in my repertoire at that time. But I'll always want to check out pinched harmonics. I want to slap it a little bit, play it with a pick as well. Focus on the bottom strings, you know, what's the attack like? What's the body like? Sometimes you can play basses where the D and G strings are just really thin.
Yeah.
And yet the E and the A strings can be really full. And it's like, well, there's a mismatch there. So can I rectify that by either raising or dropping the pickups? Do I need to replace the pickups? Do I need to replace the circuit? Is it the strings that's holding it back? You know, sometimes it can just be a setup and a change of string gauge, string material, string manufacturer, and a bass can just suddenly come to life. And other times, you know, many's the time I've gone into a store and seen a bass that allegedly is meant to be amazing. You pick it up, and to me, it didn't speak to me at all. It's just every bass you take it, as far as I'm concerned, you take every bass on its merits. Don't assume you know how something's going to sound, because chances are it's not going to sound how you expect it to sound. So, yeah, that's my take on that. Anyone else got anything to chime in there? The messages have slowed up a little, I think. I assume everyone can see and hear this. Me and Dawson are going great guns, but the messages have slowed down. Let's see if there's anyone else trying to join in the live chat video. No, not so far. It's just me and you, kid.
Oh, yeah. So what is your dream bass?
Well, as I said, that Alembic Series 2 was, in my mind, the one that got away. But I simply didn't have the funds to buy it. I was a student just coming up on my 21st birthday. So I didn't have the funds to buy an Alembic. I wasn't gigging at the time. It wouldn't have probably been the ideal bass for the work that I did as soon as I completed university. But if I'd got it then and had it now, I mean, I'd be sitting on a pension pot, you know. It would be a significant amount of money. But that was really one of the basses, and I found it very early on in my career. And it really did, because I had, you know, I was a big Mark King fan, still am. And that sound out of his Series 2, okay, it's Mark playing it, but there were tones coming out of those instruments that weren't coming out in the other basses that he played. And the Alembics were just, for me at the time, a cut above. We didn't have so many of the big boutique brands back then because they simply didn't come into the UK. And the only place really at the time that they were coming in were via the Bass Centre. So when the Bass Centre became a distributor for literally everything in the world of bass, then it was like, wow, we can get our hands on these basses now. You know, if you wanted to play a Spectre, you had to wait until the Bass Centre got some in. There was a place down the south coast called Top String that was not that far from where my family lived. But every time they got an American NS2 in, it sold because you couldn't get them anywhere else in the UK. So every time you'd go down to that store, they didn't have them. They'd sold them. And it wasn't until probably probably actually mid-90s that you were able to start getting hold of Spectres a bit easier. But the Bass Centre did such a great job at getting all those brands, you know, Kabikis and Alembics and Spectres and Padulas, as well as all the European brands, the Japanese brands like Moon basses and what have you. They did such a good job at sort of opening up the UK market to all that. And you know, many a dream bass that I played at the Bass Centre, there was I've mentioned this before on live chats, there was a Zon Legacy 4 in blue, which was identical to the one that Dick Nolan of It Bites used, and there was adverts of him using it. And it's the bass sound that's on Once Around the World, the It Bites album. Amazing sound. Graphite neck. It was graphite through. It might have been a graphite through neck, I think, with Bartolini's on and a Bartolini circuit, and the sound on that thing was just out of this world. They had one at the Bass Centre in '97. I didn't buy it, and I ended up buying Mark King's Stingray about 3 months afterwards. That Zon stayed at the Bass Centre for quite a while, and when it was there, probably sort of autumn time, 1997, I was tempted to buy it. I went down to have another look at it. They said, "Oh no, it went a couple of days ago. It's gone to Billy Gould of Faith No More.
Whoa.
And they're doing a load of TV work with it." And apparently it came back to the Bass Centre about 3 or 4 months later, and it had been absolutely hammered. It was dented and dinged and paint and scratches and all sorts. It wasn't good. But that would have been another dream bass if I'd had the chance to buy it. I did have the chance to buy it. I just didn't go for it. And it wasn't that expensive. I think it was about $850, $850, $900. I think it might have even been secondhand. I don't know. But that was a cracking bass, that really was. Nick D. Don't know who that is. Nick D. Just joined. Nick, subscribed. Welcome, Nick. Welcome along. Enjoying this live chat. Thank you very much. Steffi's back. Nick D. Aria SBs, Japan's answer to Alembic. Could well be. Could well be. That noise killer circuit is a low pass filter. So not too dissimilar from what Alembic were doing in their basses. And at the time, you know, Fenders weren't doing so well when the Arias first appeared. And yes, you could be quite right there, Nick. Maybe they were Japan's answer to Alembic. Although then you look at what Yamaha were doing with some of their SBs and their through necks. And you can tell where they were all getting their inspiration from with the maple, walnut, purple heart laminates. But yeah, good call, Nick. Well done. You get bonus points as a new subscriber and a new entrant into the live chats. Aaron Byrne, good to see you. Can't speak highly enough about Ibanez. I'm a big Ibanez fan as well. Serious bang for your buck. Agreed. I don't think I've ever picked up an Ibanez bass that I didn't like. Whether it was a cheap one, mid-range one, or an expensive one. I think they did great things for the money. I really do. And I'd always put an Ibanez SR, like a 300, if someone was starting up as a beginner. I think it's an ideal bass to start with. Gets you used to active electronics, 3-band EQ. Playability is very good. Nice slim neck. You can sort of fly around a bit on it, and good tones. You know, really good tones. So yes, as Dawson and I have just been talking about, we're talking about dream basses. Maybe you've played your dream bass but don't own it. Maybe you do own it. Maybe it's a bass that you've never realised or never played because of it. Maybe the price tag is just way out there. But let me know. Let me know what your dream bass is. Georgie Liardis, all the way from Australia. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a good week. Thanks to all the new subscribers. There's been a real push on the subscribers this week. Literally 3 or 4 new subscribers every single day since last week's live chat. So thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Thank you for all the likes, all the comments, all the subscribes, all the shares. Really helps the channel. So thank you very much, everyone. Really do appreciate it. I can't do it on my own. You know, the old Ibanez Roadstars are great too. Correct, Nick. Some of those, I keep seeing pictures of them. Some of the blue ones with the cream binding, and I think there were some cherry sunburst ones as well that had cream binding. They look great. They still look great 40 years on. And occasionally they do appear at the gallery in London, and I've seen a few at Bass Direct here in the UK and Bass Brothers. So they're still out there. They're still out there doing the rounds.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with an Ibanez.
No, I think you get great value for money. They won't let you down. The only thing that will let you down probably is something to go wrong with the electronics. Occasionally a dodgy neck, but you can say that about any manufacturer, you know. Definitely got a problem with this cable, I think. Give me a minute. Let's just, probably because the jack's at an angle. See if that's any better. I have a little dry joint going on this amp. I hope not. Volume's going up there.
So I have a rocker bass.
Okay, where's that made? China?
Probably. I'm not sure. It's a larger one. I think it has more than. Well, it has probably 12. It's more than 12 frets. It's like a larger one. It has a big neck on it, and it's kind of like a grayish brown color.
Okay. How long have you had that?
I've had it for about 4.5 years. I showed it, I think, on the first live stream I was on.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
I didn't no sound or anything. I just kind of showed it.
Yeah.
The problem with that one is that when I plug it in, it cuts out. Like the sound cuts out.
Oh,
So
okay.
I was told that there was a problem with yes, the electronics, and like it'd have to be soldered. I'd have to like probably solder the wires together or make sure that it's connected.
Have you got a store anywhere near you that has a guitar tech department?
I think so.
Okay. Well, that should be an easy job. If you don't know how to solder stuff, they'll be able to do that relatively quickly for you.
Yeah, because when I play it, some of the sound goes through. Some of it goes through, and then it just cuts out, and then it stops.
Sounds
so.
like it's either. Is it active?
Yeah, it's active. Like it can make noise sometimes.
Have you checked the battery?
I haven't checked it. No, I have to. I haven't really opened up any guitars before. So
if there's a battery in there, take the battery out. If it's a 9-volt battery, and very gently just stick it on your tongue. You won't get electrocuted, but just stick. And if it buzzes, then you know it's still got juice in it. If it doesn't buzz, then you know the battery's dead. You can throw it in the bin, put a new battery in.
Yeah.
Could be a dodgy jack socket. Yeah, I've got some messages here. Nick D, I've got 2 of the RB 920s with cherry sunburst, you lucky fellow. That SWR is a classic. Very nice. Thank you. I picked it up last year. William Derbyshire, good to see you. Good evening. What's your view on the Ibanez EHB headless range? Fabulous. Great basses. Really good. I've only played some in shops. I don't own one, but all the ones that I've played in stores have been great. Very good EQ, articulate, balanced well, nice to play, reduced body size, no bad thing. Silky Stacey Ann, battery testing fun with Brooksy. I saw someone post up, oh, you should never put a battery on your tongue. Rubbish. How many people carry a battery checker around with them? None of them. When you're in the middle of a gig or a sound check or rehearsing, you haven't got time for all of that. Just take the battery out, touch it on your tongue very briefly. If it buzzes or you feel it, then you know it's fine. If it doesn't, then you know it's dead. Easy. I don't need a battery tester for that.
Awesome. So I have to get going.
Okay, my
I
man.
have to watch
Take
my
care.
data here, so
No
make
problem.
sure
We'll
get
catch you when
on
you get home.
for next week.
All right, my man. You take care.
Okay, thank you
Enjoy
for
your day, fella.
having me on the show today. Have a great
No
day.
worries. And you,
Cheers.
take care. We'll see you next week. Take it easy, mate. And that was Dawson, all the way from Canada. Well done, sir. So if you want to join in via video, you can. We had 6 people here a couple of weeks ago, and actually at some point we could have had 8 or 9. So if any of the rest of you want to join in by video like Dawson just did, email brooksySpaceCorner@gmail.com. I'll send you an invite. You click on the invite, you come through. That's how it works. It's that simple. It's 12 minutes past 9 here in London town, here in the UK. You are watching Brooksy Space Corner, live chat number 75. We've done 75 of these. Can't believe it. Don't know where the time's gone. Channel's just had its 4th birthday. Thank you very much to all the subscribers, all the people for the likes, the comments, the shares, merchandise sales, all of it. Without you guys, I can't run the channel. So thank you very much. I do appreciate everything you guys put into it. We're here every Tuesday, all the way up until, I think it's the 17th of December. Then we have a very short break for Christmas, and then we'll come back and we're going to do some Saturday live chats when we get the other side of Christmas through the winter months. May even do Saturdays and Tuesdays. I don't know yet. We will see. We'll see how the channel progresses. So if you've got any questions regarding bass, we're talking bass guitars, amplifiers, effect pedals, strings, accessories, gig bags. You want to learn how to set up a pedal board? Maybe you got your first audition for a band playing bass. If I can help in any way with advice, information, or anything that makes your bass journey a little easier, let me know, and I'm very happy to help you if I can. If I don't know the answer, I'll throw it open to the floor, and one of the fine people here on the Brooksy Space Corner live chats probably will know the answer. Between one of us, we'll get it there. But yeah. So, like I say, I bought this Source Audio Mercury Flanger. So I'm going to hook this up. I'm going to hear it. I haven't even tested it yet. So if it doesn't work, it's going straight back. But let's get this all firing up, shall we? And I've got a different bass here. We're going to do it with Betsy. So let's just mute the amp. We're going to put that on there, and I need to hook up the adapter and the 2 leads. So I really should put that in the rack. It's just going to cause me an issue. Just bear with me a moment, people. Oh, you need to fall back into the rack, mate. There we go. That should do it. Nick D would love to join in, but unfortunately under the weather with COVID at the moment. Understood, Nick, no problem. But would like to join one in the future. You are more than welcome. Right, let's get this cabling sorted out. So that's bass into that. So that's going to go there. It's going to be output 1. We're doing this all in mono. And we're going to have that there. Right, let's go to the bass. We just need some juice for the thing. It comes with its own adapter, so in the box, just a second hand. So you get the pedal, it comes in a very nice box. It's like all the Source Audio things, you get that. Just a list of features. So you can hook this up to the Neuro app. Neuro, yeah, there's a mobile app and there's a desktop version as well. And you can go into all the parameters, it all comes up on the screen. All the Source Audio pedals do this, this facility. But I've got quite a few Source Audio pedals, and there's going to be a load of these demos and reviews coming up. Some I've had for over a year and just haven't had a chance to sort of kick them into life, kick them into action. But I will be very shortly because the new Uncle Funk Theatre show. There's going to be loads of new sounds, new tones. Got to use the bass synth pedal, the C4 synth is going to get an absolute hammering. I just know it. Because of the amount of synth sounds in the material that we're going to be playing. So let's have a look here. We want that board. Come here. So now I've not plugged this in. It's working. Good start. Very good start. I like that. Morpher pedals working the moment you plug them in. Yeah, that's all good. Right, let's get Betsy fired up. Here she is. Evening to any base center staff watching. Barry, if you're out there, I said she was going to be on tonight's live chat. Barry sending me some review bases for the channel, so it's all good. Let's get these headphones out of the way. Tune her up. Hey, here we go. Shouldn't be too far out. Tune her up the other day. All go. That'll do you. I need to be in the active. Okay. You're going in there. Well, let's have a little bit more on the treble front, shall we? Right, let's give this flanger a go. So we've got controls here. It's going to be hard to do this on the camera, so I'll try and relay everything that I'm telling you. So we've got 4 controls, and there's a switch. So we've got depth, top left-hand corner, got speed in the top right-hand corner, resonance in the bottom left, and delay in the bottom right. And then the toggle switch goes through classic, through 0, and shadow. It's a voyage of discovery for me as much as you. So I'm going to set everything at 12 o'clock and we'll go through the 3 switch settings and then I can start playing around with it. So for you can see. So I've set everything at 12 o'clock and the toggle switch is far left in classic mode. So let's give you a dry demo. No effect. Now we'll plug it in. Not bad. It's distorting, is it? Okay. Is it the voice that's distorting or is it the bass that's distorting? Stacey Ann. I think this is to do with the Wi-Fi thing and not being on a cabled connection. And if that is the case and we get that running on the cable connection next week, then we might be able to bring the bass back in through the audio interface. Stacey, no, it was the bass, but keep going, please. Jeffrey Boyle, welcome. Good to see you. Big D, any bass loss with this flanger? Absolutely none. It's the joyous source audio stuff. It's really good. So I'm going to just go through that toggle switch. So there's 3 settings: classic, through 0, and shadow. So this is classic. Well, I'll tell you what, Nick, what I'll do is I'll kick the effect in and out and you'll hear what the bass is with the effect and without. That's with the effect. Without the effect. Sounds good to me. The only thing I would have liked to see, and I like to see it on any effect, is a dry and wet ratio so you can dial in as much of the effect or not as you want. But I can probably do that when I connect it up to the Neuro thing. So let's go through to through 0. So without anything. Now with through 0. I like it. So if we go between the 2 settings, through 0 and classic, This is through zero. Classic. It's a thicker sounding one. The bottom end is different. Through zero is a livelier bottom end response. Classic. It's like some of the mids have been taken out on that. Through zero, it's like the low mids have been put back in. Pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, let's try shadow. So this is classic. I realise on the screen you can't see. It's the same old thing because I'm so close to the camera. It's here, I promise. Betsy's there. It's a classic. Through zero. Now we go to shadow. Trying to get difference. Now, see if there's anything in the instruction booklet that says, oh, it's a product catalog. It's not. It's not the instruction manual. That's a shame. I don't think there is an instruction manual. No, there isn't. It'll all be online. So, yeah, chewy filter tones, a good description. No bass loss. Yeah, dry control is handy. Sounds good though. I'm very impressed. Seen Mark King last year with level 42 and seen various videos on YouTube and seeing him at Hammersmith. He kicks a flanger in now for when he's doing slap stuff. If there's a solo or something, it's a bigger emphasis, a bit more energy to it. And I just thought, I've always had access to flangers in the effects I've had and just never used it really. It sounds so 80s, and now Mark's using it, and it was like, that makes total sense. Why didn't we just carry on doing that? So let's have a look here. Okay, that's on classic. Let's try through zero. Cool. Shadow. Good, I like it. Right, let's put a bit more resonance and a bit more depth on it. So I'm putting the depth at 3 o'clock, resonance at 3 o'clock, so they're on 3/4. Delay and speed are the same as they were. So let's go with classic. It's a bit overkill. Through zero. Okay, and shadow. Okay. It's a bit too much, that, isn't it? So definitely a little goes a long way. Let's slow the speed down. So I'm knocking the depth back to like 1 o'clock, resonance to 1 o'clock. Speed is now at 9 o'clock, and probably the delay to 9 o'clock. So this is on classic. Okay. Through 0. It's cool. Shadow. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. I'm liking it. Let's take a bit of the depth off. So depth at 11 o'clock. Sorry, the microphone's here. I'm talking below it. Sorry. Resonance 2 o'clock. Speed is at 9. Delays at 9. Let's try that. It's more filtery. Jim Hawkins, you beaut. I found my to-do list. Jim Hawkins bass lessons today. It's my embarrassment. Sorry, Jim. We will get round to your lessons, I promise you. Nick D, OJ's Love of Money. Yeah, I don't have a pick. Actually, let's take that onto a different effect. My picks are all on the other side, and I'm kind of hemmed in by technology. Yeah, I'm good, Jim. We will get your lessons, I promise. Oh. It's called shadow. It's like the shadow setting is just a lot of bass and a bit of treble and no mids. Okay, I'm not a fan of the shadow setting, but I do like the classic and the through 0. I like that. Through 0 is probably my favourite, actually, because it's got more mids going on. Actually, if you increase the resonance, you start getting into phaser territory. Sounds like it cops that Linnet dancing on the moonlight tone in the moonlight. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Absolutely. So yeah, I think I missed something there. The comments. No bass. It's quite a chewy, almost filter tone. Yep, sounds like it cops that Linnet dancing in the moonlight tone. Yes. Jeffrey Boyle, cool. Nick Dean, Jim Hawkins, fabulous. Yeah, We're up to date. How does that sound, Stacey? Is that all coming through okay, or is it all a bit chippy choppy like it was on the interface past few weeks, or is it a smoother signal now? Look at that, my hand's not even on the dusty end. Sorry, on the undusty end, I meant to say. I like this pedal a lot. Where's the camera? There. Sorry, you can't see it because the camera's so close to me. Yeah, I like it. Well done, Source Audio. That is going to be appearing in a straight out the box episode. Probably, oh, it's a little chippy choppy. Great. At some point, we'll be able to get this, hopefully, when it gets to a fixed connection on my desktop machine. Oh, we tried. Mind you, with a flanger on, it probably doesn't help it either. Anyway, so there we go. That's the Mercury Flanger by Source Audio. I like it. Like I say, I've got three boxes of pedals right here by me with loads of Octave pedals, chorus pedals, and some filter pedals. So if you want to hear anything, I can hook them up. I've got room to do it tonight. Stacey, I can't tell if that's the pedal or what. Do you all know what I mean? Well, I've just said I think probably the flanger's probably not helping the chippy choppy nature of the signal. Take the effect off, we can ascertain it, can't we? When you play slowly, it doesn't feel as much push and pull. Jim Hawkins, hi Stacey. There was flooding in some Richmond Hill neighbourhoods, but we were lucky. Excellent. Good to know you're okay, Jim. Things have changed since you were last here, Jim. We're now on StreamYard. So you're watching this on YouTube, but I'm using the StreamYard platform, which allows me to do all sorts of banners and tickers and all of that sort of thing. So we can do this. We can do that, can't we? We can also do that. We're talking all things bass tonight here on Brooksy's Bass Corner live chat 75 coming to you from London town here in the UK. It's just gone 25 to 10. We're talking dream basses tonight. Have you got your dream bass? What is your dream bass? Have you ever played it? Is it something that's in the figment of your imagination and you've just never gone down the custom bass route and had it made? Maybe you already own it. Maybe you were a lucky person. You found your dream bass very early on in your bass adventures. So let me know in the comments section. Let me know what your dream bass is. Nick D, favorite octave pedal? Well, we had this discussion a week or two ago, Nick. So my discovery over the years of using octave pedals. Kev, good to see you. Dream Bass be a Spectre Euro LX4 in Maple. I hear you. Right, octave pedals. They all sound different. You can have all the main octave brands and they're all going to sound quite different. If I hook up all these octave pedals I've got here, you're going to hear radical differences. So just before we went in a lockdown, which was March 2020, back in October 2019, very good friend of mine, one of the reasons I'm a bass player, Mr. Gary Banton. Evening, guys, if you're watching, probably not, but I'll say hello anyway, just in case, or if you watch it, I'll catch up. And he'd rung me up and said, what octave pedal are you using? I said, well, I've got quite a few. He said, I just can't find the right one. I don't know. I said, well, how many different basses are you using on your gigs? And he said, well, that shouldn't really make a difference. I said, well, no, it will. It will make a difference to the tracking. I said, but all octaves are different. I said, none of them do everything to perfection. So you're either going to need a couple on your board, or you're going to just have to find the one that does the bulk of what you wanted to do. So I went round there, funnily enough, with Betsy, because she wanted to check this out. And it was en route to a gig I was doing. And I said, look, get all your octave pedals out. I'll bring the ones I've got that you have, and we'll hook them all up and we'll just run through them. I said, we're going to find what works best for you doing that. And so we did. So he had a couple of Boss ones, a Pearl octave pedal, which was a Japanese thing, I think. We had EBS, two EBSs. We had the Aguilar Optimizer and a few other. They had the MXRs. He had the blue vintage bass octave and then the smaller blue vintage bass octave. And out of what we had between us, we both agreed, running through them, that the best sounding one to our ears with the best tracking, best tone, actually turned out to be the vintage bass octave, which I can pull out of this box. So just bear with me a minute, because I've got it right here. But I'm actually on it this week when it comes to the effects. It's the vintage bass octave by MXR, but the small one. We found the small one sounded better than the bigger one, even though really it should just be the same, just in a smaller footprint. So let me see. Is it that one? It is this one. It's that. The MXR M280 G1, which I presume means generation one, first generation. Anyway, I'll show you. So it's this. It comes with the out of the box. You get the quick guide, the adapter, and here's the pedal. Now, I don't know why this one sounded better than the bigger one. In theory, it shouldn't, but it did. And the lovely thing with this one is it takes up like a third of the size of the regular size one, but with all the same buttons. So you've got controls for dry, so it's your dry and wet signal, octave 1, octave 2, and a mid boost switch. Was it mid cut? I don't know. Need to check the quick line. That sounded best. Now on my current board, my small everyday board, I have the EBS Black Label Octabass. I bought that in 2010, so it's not the latest version of that. But I also have the Digitech drop pedal. So on there's a setting that says octave plus normal. So basically you're getting an octave signal and your normal dry signal, which creates an octave effect. Then there are no sort of changeable parameters. You can't change anything from that point on. But the octave effect out of that is so markedly different from the EBS one. I've basically got two very different sounding octave effects, but the Digitech's on my board in case I need the drop tuning. But on the songs when I don't need drop tuning, I instantly put it down to the octave plus normal setting. And then I've got 2 totally different sounding octaves, which works great for me. Kevin did that. Gareth Harrison, welcome. I don't think I've seen you here on Brooksy's Bass Corner on the live chats before. You're very welcome. Good to see you. My main bass is a Fender P bass. Very good. But just acquired an Epiphone Jack Cassidy. Another great bass. And loving that at the moment. Fabulous. Fabulous. If you find the basses that work for you, job done. Don't need anything else. He says with 39 basses in his rack. Nick D, tried EHX. Yeah. EBS. Yeah. And Boss Octavas. My favorite is a self-made clone of the old Pearl Octava. Thank you. That's what Gary had. He had one of those OC07s, as Pino used. Found it track best for me. The Pearl one was really good, but it didn't do it. It didn't do the sounds as good as that to our ears. Again, it's what your ears hear. Not, you know, if I tell you that's the best one, you could go and use it and go, it's crap. However, I can't remember who it was. Someone on last week's chat, we were talking about octave pedals. And what was he doing? He was looking at the one that someone suggested something that was a little funky that I hadn't heard of before. And I went and checked it on the YouTube video of it while we were on the live chat. He went and tried one of those pedals, didn't like it, tried one of these and bought one on the spot. Jerry Blair, good to see you. How low can I go? Very low, mate. And go as low as you want. If I plugged into an octave, we'd go even lower, wouldn't we? Hope you're well, my friend. Hope everything's good. Nick D, we'll have to try that MXR one. Make sure you try that one. If you can try both in a shot, then great. But sometimes when they're listed, look at what the photo is, because sometimes they do a big close-up of this and you think it's this and it's not. It's the other pedal. You'll know by the control layout, but it's the small one I think that you will want. And also the fact that once you got that on your board, you've got loads of space for other pedals. But why it sounds different to the larger model, I don't know. I don't know. The EBS Octava is quite different sound from the Boss and Pearl. Yeah, less simple. Yes, agreed. And then, what's that? So that's that. And then I've got, where have I put it? Where have I put it? Here we go. So I've also got the original EBS Octabass, the grey label. And then also in my box of tricks, we have the MXR Poly Blue Octave, which has got various fuzz and phaser elements to it as well. So if you've not seen one of these, this is outstanding. And it looks like this. And the controls all light up. And I love a bit of lighting up, as people will know. So take that out. This is the Poly Blue Octave MXR M306. They all have a unique number. So it's that, with controls for fuzz, mono, dry, sub 1, sub 2, mod, which I presume is modulation, octave 1 and octave 2, input, output, and an expression pedal output as well. This is amazing, which is why I bought one. I kept seeing videos of them being demoed, and it was like, I need to be getting one of those. Had to wait to get one at a decent price because they were a bit limited for a while. They couldn't get them into the country during well, I think it was after lockdown, and I had it in my to buy list. But the prices were too high and people were out of stock. Yeah, so there's loads of octave pedals out there. You just got to try them. It's easier if you can go to a store that, oh, frozen screen, right? Okay, we know what causes that. So we go into the settings, go to camera, look at that. And we're back. There we go. See, I think these gremlins are based on the fact we're on Wi-Fi, not on the cabled connection. Yeah, Gareth Harrison, currently got an EBS Octabass on my board. Excellent. So if anyone wants to hear any of the other pedals, I'm going to take these headphones off because I don't really need it until we're on a video call. tell me what you want to hear, and I will happily. Oh, let's see why it's causing me an issue. It's gone under the strap, isn't it? And I'll dig them out, connect them up, and off we go. What's going on with Dawson? Cool. So let's just turn that down. We can hook up some of the other pedals. So that's the one going to the amp. It's the one going into the pedal. So the Source Audio Mercury Flanger. I'm well pleased. Very good. Well done, Source Audio. So what does anyone want to hear? The one, Jerry Blair, the one I like the best, the Aguilar, that's the one that works best for you. I love the sound. Exactly. Everyone hears these things differently. The Aguilar one is very, very good. It does things in a different way to a lot of the other Octave pedal offerings out there. Right. Let me, I'll plug this in for you. You can hear this. So this is old. This is, we're talking mid-90s, maybe even early 90s. But I carried this for thousands of gigs. And it's got a little issue on it, technically. I think there's something gone on the board. But generally it works okay. Occasionally I just get things where it drops out. Let's give it a go anyway. You don't want that, you want that. So where's that? This was my old faithful, dependable Octave pedal for years. And still, well, I haven't used it in a long time, so I've been using other pedals, but let's check it's all still working. George Iliadis would love to order a new Status headless neck through. That's my dream bass. Okay, George, you are aware that Status no longer do graphite through necks. You can have a wooden one, but you can't have a graphite one. So since July, August 2022, Rob Green is in semi-retirement, but they're still producing basses. They're called, I think it's the SR23, but they're wooden basses. They're not graphite. Some people have said they can't tell the difference between the graphite necked ones and the wooden ones. I don't know if that's just not hype, but if that's just nonsense or if it's the truth. I haven't had one of the new basses in my hands to try. You take a Mike Lowell PJ4, would you, Stace? Yeah, very nice. Anything from Mike Lowell's stable is fabulous. Gareth Harrison, I currently use a Chord CH50 chorus guitar pedal. Get the Peter Hook tone. Yeah, good call. Good call. Nick D, same as the old EBS I had. Remember, it tracked pretty good. Exactly. Wish I still had it. I kind of stopped using this because it became a little unreliable. If anyone at EBS is watching, and I used to be a heavy EBS user, I've got loads of cabs, amps. I blame Bernie Goodfellow for getting me into the EBS stuff, but I was never an endorsee. Although, to be fair, I never went and asked if I could have a deal or anything. I just bought everything through Bernie. My amps need a bit of fixing, and this pedal needs looking at. Other than that, it's all great. I know I need to go to hand-in-hand distribution in the Southwest, but the thing is I'd have to take the gear down there and leave it with them and pick it back up. Possible I might be able to do it with all the Queen gigs that I do down that way, but yeah, if anyone from EBS is watching, someone fix my pedal, please. I'd be really pleased. Anyway, let's try this out. So I need to get my headphones back on so I can hear what we're doing. I need to plug the pedal in. I need to plug the bass into the pedal. George Iliadis, off to Reverb then. Thanks for the info. Pleasure. Yeah. Yeah, you can't, you're going to have to go second hand if you want a brand new one, I'm afraid. Right, so here's, so we're not going through the interface this week, chaps, girls and boys. We're going through my SWR Red Hit, so you're getting whatever the microphone is picking up, okay? So I'm using Betsy as well, being a fabulous bass, because the way the EMGs work, single coils, nice and clear clarity, should help with the tracking with the Octave pedals. So I've got the two controls, normal, which is your normal bass signal, Octave, and I've set them both at 12 o'clock, so they're both up sort of 50%. Okay, so without the effect, with the effect, we can't track below an A, but I'll play the note anyway. So that's that. You can give yourself more dry signal. So I'll bump that up to 75%. So you want to give it more octave, I'll put the normal back to 12 o'clock, bump the octave up to full whack. This should shake the walls a bit. Now, if you take all your normal out, you're just getting the octave signal. And I've known people use that on recordings for like a synth-based sound. So there's no dry signal, it's all an octave down. I'm going to get complaints from the neighbours possibly, but there we are. Tony, I'm sorry if you're watching. So you can do all that. If you run both the controls full whack, it's all tracking fine on me today. Great. Cool, I saw some messages there. Right, Gareth Harrison, what strings do you have on that bass? On this Betsy, Rotor Sound Swing Bass 66, 4505s on this one. So this is a Betsy bass, if you're not aware of it, Gareth. It's a copy of Guy Pratt's 1964 Jazz, which he calls Betsy. These are made by the Bass Centre here in the UK. Not made in the UK, they're made in Korea. Well, they were when this one was made. £650 if you're here in the UK. If you're in America, I think it comes to like 520 quid because you'd have no VAT to pay. What can I tell you? So it's a copy of Guy's bass, passive controls, active EMG pickups, burgundy mist, sparkle, metallic, whichever way you want to call it, vintage bridge with string spacing, ebony board, basswood body. Hardware is what it is. Love these basses, absolutely fabulous. Can't say enough good things about them. If you want to check out my review and demos of them, I'll put them here in the comments section. Just bear with me a moment. You can check them out at your leisure. Let's go. Demo is there. So this is the demo. That's the demo of Betsy, and let me find the review. There we go. There we go. Sorry, I'm leaning over the microphone this evening because I've got all my stands mixed up in the wrong order. There you go. It's my my review of Betsy. Now let's have a look here. Nick D, mate, mine is a bit of an SWR nut. The redhead and baby blues are nice. They are. This was always an iconic combo for me. I never owned one, never owned an SWR. I had, well, go back to my very first combo. It was a custom sound Cub 60 with chorus. I then had a Carlsbad Cobra. I then had my first rig, which was a Hartkey 4x10 XL cab with an H. It was a 3500 HA3500 head. And then I moved over to EBS and I had Fafners and 4x10s, and then I got Neo cabs and then various little Class D amps and what have you. And now I'm an Aguilar endorsing artist. So I have an AG700, I have a DB751, I have two SL212 cabinets, and now I find most of my gigs I'm on in-ear monitors with no backlight. Funny old world, isn't it? So that's my thing. But I never owned an SWR. I played through a few in my time, and I was always really impressed. And then this came up secondhand, and I thought, well, I'd like to own that. And so I went and bought it. It's great, but started making a bit of noise, as we heard earlier. So I'll be keeping an eye on it. If it's got a dry joint, it'll be going to the menders. Gareth, I use Rotor Sounds too, but recently been buying legacy bass strings from Strings Direct. They are made by Rotor Sound, the same production line. The only difference is they don't add the silk. Those would be Rotos then. Yeah, I've got Rotos on a couple of basses here. Not generally my choice. I like the swing bass strings. Rotos are, I think they're nickel bass, nickel on a steel core. And I'm not a fan of nickel strings, but they'll do the job. So, yeah. Nick D, Custom Sound, remember them? Yeah, they were everywhere at one point. You were an H&H, then PV, then Trace. Very good. So yeah, so that's the EBS Octabass, the old grey one. I've got the UniChorus here as well. Let me send that there. So again, a grey label offering. Now I bought both of these pedals at the same time from the same guy. Now, a week before 9/11 happened. I bought them the night before we went on holiday to Mallorca. I bought them on the Monday. It was bank holiday. We flew out to Mallorca on the Tuesday. And the following Tuesday, when we were just about to fly back, 9/11 happened. And I'll never forget it. I didn't, I bought these pedals and didn't plug them in for over a week. Yeah. Right, so it's going there. There's a stereo output, mono input. So this one has three controls. You've got depth, rate, and then the mode. So there's chorus, PM, which I think is something modulation, phase modulation maybe, flanger. So let's keep this in. I haven't used this in ages. I bought it and very rarely used it. A lot of the covers stuff at the time, you didn't really need chorus. Oh, that's not a good start, is it? Maybe we've got those two round the wrong way. Right done. Better than me, ladies and gentlemen. See if that's any better. That's better. Get the cables in the right order, Mike. It's always a bonus. So put the depth and the rate 12 o'clock. So I've got that in chorus mode. Put it in a PM. I think it's phase modulation. Not really phase, is it? About the chorus. The modulation one's almost like a tremolo kind of thing. I'm trying to show you what I can, but the camera's so close. Switch you over here. I'll just check if anyone's trying to get in here on the video chat. We got any applicants? No. If you want to join in, have a chat with me by video, you can. You can email me, brooksyspacecorner@gmail.com. Your email will pop up here. I send you an invite. You click on the invite and you're in. We can have a chat about bass guitars, amps, effects, accessories, strings, great bass players, whatever you want to talk about. Nick D, now on an old GK 400RB and 800RB with Vanderclay cabs. That's a nice match. Jerry Blair, what IEMs are best for bass? Well, you're going to get a million answers for that, Jerry. So let me tell you a story. I'll come back to the chorus pedal in a second. So I was a bit late coming to the IEMs thing because of the cost and couldn't really justify it. And the bands I was in always had monitors. And when I left my last regular covers band, which would have been 2018, in 2019, I started to do basically the thing that pushed me to go down the IEM route was a couple of friends in other bands were starting to do it. They were buying secondhand Sennheiser G3 setups, and invariably they were singers and they were thrashing their voice. And they said, when we're doing weddings and our own bashes and some of the pubs, you take your own PA. There's no monitors unless you carry them. So to save their voices, they were buying IEMs. And I got asked to do my very first Queen tribute. And I don't know why it took me so long to do a Queen tribute. I was just always busy with covers, and I didn't know anyone in the Queen tribute circle, so to speak, here in the UK. And I got asked to do my first one. And part of the deal of doing the gig was you had to have your own IEMs, and I didn't have them. So I went and bought a setup exactly the same as a friend had said he bought. So I bought a secondhand Sennheiser G3. And then for the IEMs, everyone keeps saying, oh, you've got to get molds, you've got to get this, got to get that. And I've heard so many friends who are musicians with IEM molds, and then they'll lose an earpiece, or they'll get broken, or they'll get stolen, or the lead goes wrong, or the earpiece goes wrong. And it was just like there was always a reason not to go down that route. Another friend of mine works for a reasonably famous 80s band, and he made a very good point when I put this up on Facebook and I was asking people for help and advice. He said, it's all well and good having custom molds and £600 IEMs, and he said, but what if the person doing your mix is an absolute idiot? All you're doing is accentuating the bad points. If the person doing the mix is useless, then it doesn't matter what IEMs you got in, the mix is going to be useless regardless. I thought, yeah, he's right, isn't he? So that coupled with the idea that, you know, these things go wrong, get broken, get lost, and you don't want to be forking out multiple hundreds of pounds for something that small and that delicate. So his advice was, he said, you can get these things on Amazon called KZS10. I think it's KZS10s. I've got 3 sets of them and I always get the model number wrong. Anyway, if you do a search for them, in fact, let me just do it. I'll just go into my Amazon account. I can tell you exactly what I get. Let me go into my orders. I'll tell you exactly what it is. I've got to sign in. I can't be asked with that. Let me just do a search. I think the KZ. Is it S10 IEMs? Same will come up. Here we go. Linsol KZ ZS10s. That's what I use. They're around 45 to 50 pounds. They got 5 drivers in them. You get loads of bass, loads of top end. If you broke them, you've only got to pay 45 pounds. I've been using IEMs on all my Uncle Funk gigs since we came out of lockdown. So since 2021, we've probably done 150 gigs, maybe 200, maybe. They're almost bomb-proof. If they went wrong, it doesn't cost me much to replace them. The sound is great to my ears because for years I didn't have monitors or IEMs. The bass end is great. It sounds to me like I'm listening to a CD. I have an iPad on my stand and I can do my own monitor mix with the system we've got in Uncle Funk. I love the ZS10s. I've got 3 sets. A regular set I use, standby set in my bag, and I keep a spare set here so that if I'm between 2 gigs, say something happened to my bag, got stolen, the next gig, I'd still have a set here that I could use. So my recommendation to you, Jerry Brown, is spend 45 quid on these. You can go, in fact, here you go. I can make this really easy. Go into the description box below the video. You'll find affiliate links for Brooksy's Bass Corner, Amazon shop. You go into my shop, click on the link, it'll take you through the Brooksy's Bass Corner storefront. Look for IEMs or monitoring, or just go through the products. You'll find the IEMs there. If you buy a set, I get a little affiliate commission. You get a set of IEMs exactly the same as what I use. Simple as that. How about that? How easy could it be? They're great. I use them all the time. And I will happily not use £700 in-ear molded IEMs for the rest of my career. I'll use these because if they get damaged, get lost, get stolen, it's £45. It's affordable. Gareth Harrison, I've always used Hartke amps, but recently changed to a Mark-based setup. Okay, each to their own. I had Hartke for years. You'll notice there's a Hartke 2x10 combo right behind me. I love my Hartke setup, but I started getting dry joints on the amplifier in 2001, 2002, and I moved over to EBS. Never been a huge Mark-based fan. I've used a few setups on gigs and what have you. Not my bag, but each to their own. Best of luck with that. Kevin Allen, I have a lot of nice looking basses, but yes, I do own my dream bass. Fabulous. But you had to make it. Okay, interesting. We need more info, Kev. Good to see you. Welcome for joining. Amps wise, I'm mostly an orange man. Okay, cool. Strings I have to get made by Newtone. I had some Newtone strings, love them. But the Rhodes Sound Drop Zone do okay. Cool. Cool. Nick D, liking that chorus. It's good, isn't it? Jerry Blair, thank you. My pleasure. That's what I'm here for, my man. Gareth, I use KZs too. I just swapped the tips for foam ones so they fit a little better. There's actually a little box that you can buy on Amazon. So if you buy these, Jerry, also buy a little case. You can. There are various cases that you can buy for these. Get yourself a case, and also get yourself. There's a box of replacement foam tips. Where's my bag? Oh, it's on the other side of the room. Basically, it'll give you like 3 or 4 sizes and maybe 1 or 2 pairs of each. So as and when they drop off or fall off or you lose one inadvertently, you've got a box of all these different sizes. You'll find the size that works best for you. And then in future, you know just to buy a bag of those. Easy. It's easy. Lots of people come into the IEM thing with a lot of trepidation. There's no reason to, but I know it's very easy to go into that rabbit hole of spending a fortune. And then you think, actually, am I getting the best for my money? The way I did it, which was to buy a second-hand Sennheiser G3, which didn't cost me a lot. It was £300 at the time. I'm getting for like $250 or less now. The KZ's perfect introduction. Now my intention was to upgrade my system over time. I haven't had to do it, and I've had that since 2019. So we're 5 years in. It gives me so much value for money, really. I know some people, is it LD? There's a company called LD or LZ that do like a cheaper range. Don't go down that road. Get a Sennheiser if you can, or something, or a Shure, something reputable. The cheaper ones, I've heard people having problems with them, but my Sennheiser never given me a problem at all so far. Love it. I used it on Sunday doing my ABBA tribute show in a theatre. So that's two things I've helped you with, Jerry. Cling film on your pedal board and your IEM setup. Anything else? Anything else need a bit of advice for? I'm going to have a quick drink so my throat's getting dry. It is 12 minutes past 10 here in London town, here in the UK. Live chat 75 here on Brooksy's Bass Corner. We're talking all sorts of things tonight. Dream basses. Do you own your dream bass? Do you know what your dream bass is? Are you waiting to find your dream bass? Pedals. We're talking pedals. So you want to talk about pedals? I've got a load of pedals here. Right. Beg your pardon. It's an EBS UniChorus grey label from the 1990s. We're talking pedals. So if you want to talk pedals, you want me to demo anything that I've got here, let me know. I know you don't know what pedals I've got here, but if you say this is some Octave pedals, I'll pull a few out. You want to hear some filter pedals? I've got a few of those as well. Chorus pedals, plenty of those. Gareth Howson used the Behringer P2 Gem preamp, IEM preamp, sorry. Okay, those are the ones that you take a cable into, wear on your belt. Powered, I think that you can do them with batteries or phantom power, I think. Jerry, fantastic. I'm going for the hat trick next of useful tips. Excellent. So that was so we were running through the modes on this pedal. So we've done the chorus, we've done the pitch modulation, not phase modulation. Where did I get that from? Flanger. So we've already looked at one flanger. Oh, how about that? Ooh. That's the depth. Turn the depth down a tad, maybe. It's a funny old noise. Wonder if this is why I didn't use that pedal for years. It's a funny old noise, that. I don't like that. Ooh, that's not boiling my egg at all. It goes when you play. Yeah, so there we go. Turn that ooh off. Thank you. Right, let's just mute that. So that's my cable. That's the amp cable. If there's anything else you'd like to hear, fire away. Kevin Allen, not certain how we can join the video chat. I'll send an email. We can try. Exactly. You send me the email. I send you an invite. You click on the invite. You come on live. That's how it works. I got you, Kev. Okay, I'm about to send you. Let me just get the invite. 2 seconds. Copy. I'm going to reply, and the invite's coming your way. There it is. It's on its way to you, Kev. Check your email. Aaron Byrne, I've got a Boss GT1B multi-effects pedal. It's a great bit of kit for the price. The only settings I find lacking are the overdrive and envelope filter settings. See, that I want the filter settings. I would need that. I would want that to be happening. Let me try this MXR. It's very bright. Well, you can't see it. There we go. Fits in well with the Aguilar amps, put it that way. Okay, let's see what we got here. So this kind of based around, apparently, the Boss OC2. Apparently. But it does it better. Well, it did when Gary and I plugged the Boss OC2 up against it. So, right. So, bass without any effects. Right, let's kick in this. So I've got dry signals at 12 o'clock. Let's just do the first octave first. So we've got that at 12 o'clock. And you've got the mid boost button, the little blue one here. Kicks in another LED. So it's I think it's a mid boost. It is. Tracking's good. Then we've got Octave 2. So if I take Octave 1 out, and we put Octave 2 up to 12 o'clock, what have we got? It's a sub. 2 octaves down, is it? Might be. Mid boost. There's Kev. Bring you in, Kev. I'm going to I'm going to mute your microphone for a minute till I finish this little bit, but I'll bring you up onto the stage, okay? Here we are. There's Kev. 2 seconds, Kevin will be with you. So that's Octave 2. If we do Octave 1 and 2, we get this, which is a fuller sounding. With a mid boost, we get this. I actually quite like it, just the Octave 1 one. Good. I like it. Right, let's get Kev on here. Right, my man. I'll mute you. Talk to me, Kev. Can I hear you?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Hurrah, we can. How are you? Welcome. Good to see you.
Right, you're asking about dream bass. Well,
yes, sir.
This is my dream bass.
Okay.
You
Tell
might
us
have
about
seen
it.
one like this because I had to go to Crimson Guitars and make it myself.
Ah, very good. I can see things of other basses on there. The headstock is a bit Alembic Pangborn like, and it's kind of a single cut on the top. And yeah, good. Okay, tell us about it. Let's hear all about this. Right, my man. Tell me.
Yeah, it's effectively like a destroyer on this side.
Yeah.
But the other side doesn't have a side because it's got 32 frets.
Good man.
Kayla bass trem.
Of course. Of course.
Kent Armstrong quadraphonic pickup.
Okay.
So I've got separate output per string.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
If you look there, you'll see it's got a 5-pin DIN
That's
as
it.
opposed to 4-inch jack.
Yeah. Fingerboard?
Can't really hear this without it being plugged in, but it's an octave below normal bass tuning, so it starts on E0.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
So yep.
Crikey. What are we talking timbers wise here?
Timbers wise, it's maple mainly.
Okay, and the fingerboard?
Ebony.
And is it a through neck or is it bolt on?
Sorry, I've got a sort of delay, so I.
No worries. Is it through neck or a bolt on? Oh, okay. Very good. Nice. So you built that at Crimson Guitars?
Yep.
Excellent. What was the influence for that? What made you go down that route? Why did you want a 32 fret instrument?
Betsy Collins.
Okay.
Betsy Collins was my influence. I saw a guitar that he played where he had different effects on different strings.
Yeah.
So I had to work out how to do that, or Kent Armstrong did.
Yeah.
And then that was when I was 18 or 19. I bought all the stuff to actually make the damn thing.
Yeah.
And I got round to making it last year when I retired.
Wow. Have you used it live yet? I haven't
used it live. The problem with using it live is that no, I haven't used it live because it's got with having 4 effects, 4 separate lines out. I need 4 different. I could suppose I could mix them post effects and then just have the one speaker. But I have
it's a lot of work on a pub gig, isn't it?
I have quite a lot of speakers. And other stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got quite a few interesting guitars.
Excellent. Well, feel free to show us if they're easy to get to. Here we go.
This is a Chinese-made 8-string.
Wowzers!
Again, it's like an Explorer copy.
The
headstock is very heavy. It's quite neck heavy.
Yeah.
But it balances sort of okay.
Yeah, but that sounds fabulous.
Yeah, but the thing about this one is it's really heavy. I don't know what the Chinese use for the wood.
It does look it.
It's a ton. It weighs a ton.
Do you know what also happens with those guitars is what happens to me when I'm trying to play my Warwick Bootsy Collins bass is that where the top horn should be on a regular bass, they're not. And that causes a major problem. And on that bass you just showed me, where the top horn would be, there's not. It's literally just like a nub of wood where your strap button is. Without that horn to counterbalance the way the neck and the headstock goes, anyone who's seen any of the other live chats where I've had the Warwick bass out, the bass doesn't weigh a lot. I've weighed it. It's like less than 4 kilos. But the whole thing, as soon as you take your hand away from supporting the neck, it just goes straight like that. And there's nothing you can do. You have to support with your hand. So if you've got anything that you're playing, and you've got a slide where you, if you like, the ends of your fingers literally are running along the edge of the fingerboard. It's no fun. It's not enjoyable. And I bet that's exactly what's happening with that bass as well. I would say.
But to be honest, the basses that I actually use these days, especially when I'm doing stuff like this with YouTube, is Harley Benson.
They're great.
Harley Benson Ovation copy.
Yeah.
It's brilliant, and it doesn't annoy the neighbours.
Exactly. That's the joy of acoustic basses. Exactly.
They're so,
you've got a couple.
They're so good. I actually got 2 of them.
Excellent. Are they strung differently? Have you got different strings on them for different sounds?
I don't know if you can see the difference in the stringing, but
she's got some bronze ones on.
That's a low E, and that's an F sharp.
Okay. And do you play around with the strings on there? Do you try different strings?
That way, whatever comes up on YouTube that I want to play along to, I can pick up one or the other, because nobody does tunings below F sharp.
You might be surprised if you watch if you follow any of the drop tuning or Dingwall social media pages. Some of them go down this, just wild and wacky things like. It's the one I saw the other day. Someone said they went down to a low G sharp on their E string. I was like, that must be playing a bit of old rope. There can't be much tone from that.
This baby goes to an E0.
Yeah.
So that's a full octave below.
Yeah.
And that's like 20 hertz. It's the limits of human hearing.
Yeah.
That's why I've got 4 18-inch cabinets to boost the low frequencies. Which is another reason for not using it live.
Correct. Yeah, you don't want to be lugging all those around. I've got some questions for you, actually. People are firing questions in here, so I'll fire these at you. 2 seconds. We've got to Aaron's one. I'll fire these at you. Gareth, I see your thing about fretless bass. I'll come back to you about that shortly. Aaron Byrne, I've only got one fretless side jazz copy, which sounds great with flats or rounds. I'd love to try fretless Ibanez to contrast the humbuckers to the single coils of the jazz. Got it. Nick D. That's one wild looking bass, Kev. Stacey's quite taken with it. Nick D, 32 frets. Nick, what's the pickup, Kev? So it's a Ken Armstrong. You said what it was. Can you remind me?
Yeah, it's a Ken Armstrong. Basically, it's just a soap bar pickup, but I had to have him make it because it's a separate pickup. It's a separate output per string.
Yeah. What was there a name for it?
No, there's no name for it. I had to talk to Ken, and he had to make it for me.
Okay. It's the Kevin Custom.
Kevin Custom, yeah. He won't
Kevin
remember.
Custom.
That was when I was 18.
Oh, crikey.
He's not. He doesn't even make pickups anymore. His son's doing it.
That's right. Stacey from North Carolina, did you like working with Crimson guitars? And I know she wants to know this because her husband wants to come over from North Carolina and go there for some guitar building lessons.
Yeah. It was really, really good. I thoroughly enjoyed the entire course. The thing that I would say is that it's really good if you can get the lady that does the accommodation to find somebody to put you up, because otherwise 2 weeks hotel prices sort of bumps it up. But there's a whole load of people down there in Dorset, which are just sort of like families, that put you up in a spare room for very little money, and they're all great.
Superb. And did you learn a lot doing the course?
I learned how to build a guitar, which I had no idea of before I even started. I mean, it's got some mistakes that if I made another one, I wouldn't make the same mistakes again, or at least I hope I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a learning experience. I want to go back and build another guitar, another bass. I'm sort of like plucking up the courage and the money.
Yeah, doing these sort of things, it's lovely to do, but they're not cheap. It does add up.
Also, I'm running out of wool.
Yeah. Quite well, I can see all the gear stacked
I mean, I've
up
got
in
the
the
whole
background.
wool on that side.
Yeah.
This is an old beauty that I've got. It's it's a Washburn.
Yeah.
But it's a Washburn custom build. They built 4 bases, none of them for production. The intent being that they'd all got unusual features.
Yeah.
And then they were going to see what people liked at the guitar shows and then make a custom build, a new build, based on those ideas. The thing I really love about this, which is where I picked up on my bass, is that the 1/4-inch jack on this is in a recess. So it's that way around. Your 1/4-inch jack's pointing upwards. You can't lose it.
It's like that. Kabikis are the same.
You can damage your cables by stepping on them, but you can't actually just pull them straight out.
That's it. That's nice. So what year were they made? Is that a 90s?
I'm just working it out. 64, 80, sometime in the 80s.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It'll be an 80s
nice.
bass.
Yeah.
But this,
it's got that
like
vibe about it.
This one doesn't exist anywhere other than this actual one, because it's one from the show that I took a shine to and basically bought after the event.
Excellent. Very nice indeed. You look after that.
Yeah.
That's cool. So those are your dream basses, are they?
Yeah.
They're your dream basses.
Well, this is my dream bass.
Yeah.
The others are nice basses that I have. That again I very rarely use. Most of the these days I'm using the acoustics for just playing along with stuff that's on YouTube.
Yeah. Cool. Very good. Very good. Well, thank you for sharing all that with us. Stacey in North Carolina says, let's have a look. She's saying she's making notes. She's making notes for her husband there. Certainly not an inexpensive venture, but thank you for sharing your experience with Crimson. So
go with a very clear idea of what you want to build.
Yeah.
Is quite important. And if you can, let them know exactly what it is you want so that they can get anything that you might need in for you. Because I originally wanted to go 36 frets. I've got the space for 36 frets, but there isn't a piece of ebony that long.
Fair enough. And also, once you get up that area, the actual spacing between the frets is almost unplayable.
It is. Yeah.
I guess you have to have extra long scale strings as well. You're probably on 37-inch scale. Yeah,
I would have needed to increase the length, and that would have bumped up the cost no end.
Yeah. You certainly couldn't have gone for through body stringing on that, because I just don't think you'd be able to get the strings. You'd either have to go for custom wound stuff through someone like Newtone. They would tell you whether that's possible or not.
These are Newtone anyway.
Oh, okay.
Because these are all Newtone, because the the gauge on that is just ridiculous on the bottom.
Yeah.
I can't remember
understood.
what the gauge is, but it's very thick.
Yeah.
It's thicker than the drop tone, the Rotor Sound drop tones.
Okay. Well, they're
Drop zone.
yeah, I think they're 50. I think that's 55s, 115s. I think. Let's have a little look. I can go on Rotor Sound site. I tell you. Rotor Sound. Here we go. Drop zone strings, please. So look. Here we go. Bass guitar. Right. Drop zone 66s. Let's see. Yeah. 65 130 for the 4-string and 85 to 175. Good God.
Yeah.
You'd have to buy. You'd need new nuts for those.
Yeah, that's a 175 on that one.
Yeah. That's it. 85 to 175. Crikey. That's a lot. Those are thick strings. Very well. Thank you. Thanks for that.
You can get away with the needle file rather than
yes. Yeah, exactly. Oh dear. I bet that you must have done a lot of prep beforehand before you went there to build that, because there would be so many non-standard issues there. So have you got one? Have you got a single truss rod going through it, or dual?
Yeah, single truss rod.
Yeah. Okay.
The thing that actually surprised me when I went was I expected everybody to be building something that was in some way unique or different, and so the other person that was building a bass was building it absolutely beautiful visually, but it was just a standard P bass. And
okay.
I thought, it seemed a little mute to go on a guitar building course and build a P bass.
Yeah. Maybe they just wanted to learn the woodworking skills and the electronic skills, and that was going to be like their first foray into doing that. And they didn't want to sort of cast their net too wide.
When I say it was just a standard P bass, it was like completely maple and bronze frets, and visually it was stunning.
Yeah,
not quite as
stunning as that. No, very good, very good. So is that passive or active?
It's passive.
Okay.
I've got I can't actually get to the effects, but I've got 4 old Boss multi-effects units, one for each string, and then I've got 4 32 band graphic equalizers, all feeding into a Yamaha quadraphonic power amp.
Gotcha.
I don't think I can easily get to that.
That's all right.
Or move the cameras. If I had the camera on a lead, I'd be able to.
That's right.
Not.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. So they're great. Great to see them.
I'm gonna leave the studio now because it's difficult for me to actually hear what's going on.
No problem. Thank you very much for your insight on that. Thank you. See you again soon.
No problem. If people have got any more questions, post in the chat.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You heard the man. If you got more questions about Kev's fabulous basses, leave them in the chat and he can respond there. Take care, Kev. Thank you for joining in. Well, that's quite fabulous. How about that? 32 fret beast. Wowzers. I don't think I've ever seen another bass with 32 frets. I've seen 26 fret Warwicks, but never a 32 fret contraption. Wowzers. Wowzers. Hope you all found that interesting. That's great. Yes, Nick D. Need fingertips like ET to hit those. It's quite. Stacey, nothing too out of the box maybe for the first build. Maybe. Unless you know exactly, you know, if the other half knows exactly what he wants in that instrument, let them know in advance, then get the parts in. Wowzers. I enjoyed that. Thank you, Kev. Thanks for sharing all that. That was great. Woo! You too can come on here on the video side and chat. Just drop me an email. And I can send you an invite. I think I'm up to date there. Yeah, there's no other people looking for an invite at the moment. So it's coming up 20 to 11 here in London, in the UK. In Brooksy's Space Corner, live chat number 75. Yes, we've done 75 of these. They're all here on the YouTube channel. You can watch any of them you wish. I'm actually at the moment sort of going through each one, doing all the timestamps, because for the first 65, I didn't do timestamps really for the live chats. And now I'm having to go back and do them. It helps with the views, helps with the algorithm. So it kind of makes sense. So if you've got any questions about basses, bass guitars, bass amps, bass effects, bass accessories, bass strings, gig bags, leads, picks, anything to do with bass, let me know. If I can offer any help or advice, I'm very happy to do so. That's what I'm here for. And try and make your bass journey a little easier where possible. So I'm just checking everything's doing what it needs to be doing. Here we are. Just mute that a minute. Here we go. Yeah, we'll probably do another 15 minutes or so, I think. So, got any requests on the effect panel front, then let me know. So we were looking at that MXR. I was quite taken with the Octave 1 second, to be fair. Take the Octave 2 off. Just use the Octave 1, I see. Maybe a little drop of Octave 2. Just a little bit though. It's all about the tracking and the fingering. Slower lines work better generally. Sometimes you can do stuff that's a little sort of fast and pinched, but sometimes pedals just don't track that great if you're trying to go too fast. They don't tend to like track it too far down. Usually an A, 5th fret on an A string is kind of a limit. That's a G. Too bad. F sharp, F. Starts getting a bit crappy and a little unclear. It's good. I like it. Again, sounds totally different to the other two Octave effects I have on my board currently. I think this is coming out with me for the I think the old camera's locked there. Give me a moment. Just fire the camera. There we go. I'm back. Nick D, liking the vibe of this channel. Thank you, Nick. Cheers. We'll be back. Soothing my COVID recovery. I don't know who you like bass player wise, Nick, but there are loads of interviews here on the channel. If you like a bit of Billy Sheehan, there's 3 or 4 of those. There's some Mark King, there's some Chris Squire. There's a load of my vintage interviews are going to be coming up very shortly here on the channel. I want to get my Jack Bruce interview up round about the time of his 10th anniversary of his passing. So that will be on the channel soon. John Taylor, Duran is into. So if you go into the channel, go to the playlist section. Is a good way to find stuff. Every video here on the channel is in various playlists. So if you're just looking for interviews, that has a playlist. If you're looking for reviews, they're in a playlist. Soundbite demos, which are like reviews, just playing without all the chat. They're there. And then there are various bass brands. So if I've done reviews of Sandbergs or Music Man or Fender, they're all in their individual playlists. So feel free to have a look around the channel. Hopefully you find something you like. Kevin, if considering Crimson, you can probably get a discount by going to a show they are at and also get to talk through what you want to make. It's a good point. Good point. Nick D, I'm a big Alan Spencer fan. Well, there's a name. Very good. Good choice. I've never interviewed Alan. I don't think our paths have even crossed, but I'm very aware of his work. Just check this is turned off here. Yeah, good call. Good call. That's the in. That's the out. On the floor. Go back in its box. Roxy Music, yes. Well, exactly. Exactly. Sorry, just tying up before I drown in an avalanche of effect pedals. So have you got any requests? You want to hear any of the pedals I've got here? I know you can't see what I've got, but you want to hear chorus pedals, octave pedals, and filter pedals. A whole bunch of them here at my feet. Mainly because we've done a couple of live chats in recent weeks where certain individuals were looking at buying certain pedals, and I didn't have it all set up here, ready to go. So I've set it all up, and now they're not here today. Stacey Ann, Roxy Music, didn't he play on Same Old Scene? What's your favourite Roxy song? You could well be right, Stacey. See what we've got here. Tell you what, I'll unplug so the battery's not draining. We're not going to do any more effect stuff. But yeah, so let's think what we've got coming up on the channel. I've got, I'm going to drown in the amount of stuff to be uploaded. So we've got Flatley Effects, we've got a couple of pedals from them. There's some other bass pedals that are ready to go, part of the Straight Out of the Box series. We've got the Bass Center Bassmaster basses coming in on Thursday. There's going to be a new Wilcock basses, short scale maker from here in London. One of my first basses I did here on the channel was 51 4P, I think it is called, which was a great bass, and it went from my house to Tim LaFay's house in Tim LaFay. Well, I always pronounce his name wrong. In the States, we had a little conversation online about it. I've got another bass from them coming in very shortly. The lovely Viv Wilcock sending a bass to me for review and demo purposes, so that'll be coming in. We've got the review of the Ibanez SR300, which should have been up ages ago. I've got it all filmed. It's almost fully edited. Just got to dot the I's and cross the T's on that one. 3 Anaconda reviews, again, pretty much ready to go. Just got to tidy up the last few bits and those will be ready to upload. And then we'll start having new stuff. So someone was asking about fretless stuff a while back. There will be a series. My Fretless Odyssey series is imminent. Scripts are written, started filming. Basically, it's my journey going from point zero of not being able to play fretless bass. And we'll see how far we get. I might still not be able to play after 10 episodes. I don't know. We're going to see how it goes. I've got a load of books on fretless bass playing, got some online materials. We'll see. We will see. But I will document that journey. It might be quite fabulous, or it might be a good view for those who are lacking sleep. I don't know yet. We'll see. I'm going to try and make it as informative and interesting as possible. There could be a certain comedic element to it, I suspect. There will undoubtedly be some dreadful wrong notes and some awful intonation, but that's the whole point of doing that. Then I've got to get my podcast up and firing, which has been a plan all year. I've got it all scripted. I know exactly what I've got to do. I've just got to film it. So that will be coming as well. So there's a whole new load of stuff appearing here on the channel. Just got to finish editing it, put it up, have 3 or 4 hours either side for social media promotion, and it'll all be good to go. Pretty much. So yeah, it's 10 to 11. You got any questions? Any comments? Anything you'd like to say about what's here on the channel? Anything about live chats? Anything you've seen this evening? Feel free. Kevin Allen, there are a lot of female Japanese bassists who play without shoes. Any idea why? Probably same reason a lot of Japanese don't wear shoes indoors. They leave them at the door outside. Obviously, you're always prone to getting your shoes nicked. So I would imagine that would be why. None of the male Japanese bassists or bassists from other countries I've seen do it. Just a trend. Couldn't tell you. I'm sure there'll be something on Google about it. There's probably even a YouTube video explaining it, possibly. Not something I've looked into, Kev, but well spotted. Nick D, Stacey Ann, yeah, and Jesus Christ Superstar and Joe Cocker. Yeah, Alan Spenner got around. Yeah. So yes, this week, as I said at the start of the live chat, I've got a Queen tribute show on Saturday up in northwest Wales in Bangor. So if you're in the area or surrounding districts, come on down. I don't know the exact name of the festival. All I know it's in Bangor, and this is Queen tribute are playing there. So I'll be there. And then Sunday we've got second rehearsal for the new Uncle Funk Theatre show, covering the decades of dance music from late 70s through to the present day. It's a lot of material, a lot of songs to learn, lots of effects being used. Synth pedal-tastic. I've actually got to sit down with the synth pedals tomorrow, Thursday and Friday, and start getting my sounds together, because there's a lot of synth, bass synth stuff going on. And even though obviously we've got a keyboard player and various tracks, the bass end is kind of my domain, so got to get that all sorted. Nick D, Stacey Ann, and ABC, along other 80s bands like the Associates, started off at Woodstock. He's got some stories to tell, I would wager. Yes, indeed. Let's just see if anyone else wanted to join in by video. No. Thank you to the people who have joined in tonight. Dawson and Kev, good to see you both. Thank you for attending, getting involved. That's what it's all about. Much appreciated. Nick D, Queen tribute, that's cool. Deacon was a killer bass player. Absolutely. My initiation into the world of bass is a tale of two Johns, Deacon and Taylor. From there, everything else for me sprouts out from those two pillars. I did say pillars. Yeah, I get to play in a couple of different Queen tributes. So for years I didn't. I was too busy with my covers bands, and kind of fell into it in 2019 with a couple of different ones. Once you get into that circle of people that do them, it's the same with ABBA tributes. If you start doing a few ABBA tributes, your name gets around that you're a bass player who plays ABBA. The same with Queen. You're a bass player that can play Queen, and if you can do backing vocals as well, you've kind of got the gig, really. So yeah, and for me it's an absolute pleasure to play those songs, so I have absolutely no complaints. Love it. It's a shame the drive is so far this weekend, but the financial side of it makes it worthwhile. So we'll go with it. Is there anything you'd like to see on the channel, Nick? Anything that bass-wise you'd like to see, or anything that other bass channels don't do that you'd like to see? George, you're back. Excellent. We're going to go for about another 5-10 minutes, perhaps. And then we'll be off for the evening, because we've done nearly 3 hours. 3 hours. 3 hours whizzed by tonight. Thank you, gang. Made it very enjoyable. Hope you found some of the effect pedal stuff interesting. Might have opened your ears to a few sounds, maybe. Ooh. I think Betsy's fingerboard actually needs a bit of conditioning. So I'm going to be doing some workshop stuff very shortly with some new videos going up. A few basses need strings replacing. We've got the Lakeland and the Fender need new foam under the pickups. This little lady can have fretboard conditioning while we're at it. Nick D, chat about fuzz pedals on a future chat, maybe. Happily do it next week. Could have done it tonight, actually. We've got the fuzzes are just around the corner here. I'll do that. If you come on the live chat next week, Nick, as soon as you're on, say, can we do some fuzz pedals? And I'll dig them out and we'll go through a few. And that actually ties in very well, because one of the flat lead pedals that seems to review and demoing is their fuzz pedal for bass. So we'll do that. And maybe next week, if I get 2 minutes, we'll have all this set up on the other side of the office where my desktop machine is, and we'll run on the Ethernet line rather than via Wi-Fi. Hopefully all the little gremlins will get ironed out. I hope. He says, please. And it will also mean I can stand a bit of a distance back from the camera and you'll be able to see when I'm playing, as opposed to being penned in here around the wall of amplification. Turn this off. I don't do any more of that. Yeah, let me just check everything's still going good. I think it is. I think it's still going. I saw your message there, Kev. Nick, sorry. Cool. It's all good. Yes, the fuzz journey never seems to end, does it? Because they, again, just like all the choruses, all the octave, none of them sound the same. They all do different things. My main fuzz for quite a while was the Dan Electro Fab Tone, purely for the reason that Larry Graham and Rhonda Smith, Larry Graham needs no introduction, but Rhonda Smith, Prince's bass player, he took over being Prince's bass player. He did a period before Larry and then after Larry, I think. Did Sonny T go all the way up until Larry started and then she followed? Could be that. Anyway, there was a live album called One Night Alone with Rhonda on it, and I sent her an email, I think in like 2008, saying, it's Mike Brooks from Bass Guitar Magazine here in the UK. Pleasure to talk to you. Could you tell me what the fuzz pedal is that you're using on One Night Alone is? And she said, yeah. She said, you'll be surprised though. I said, go on. He said, it's just a Dan Electro pedal. I went, really? She said, yeah, it's a Dan Electro Fab Tone. I said, why? She said, because that's what Larry Graham uses. It's what he replaced his space fuzz or whatever the fuzz pedal he used for years and years, because he just didn't want to take it out. It became too unreliable. So he decided, he found the Dan Electro, and that was the closest tonally to the fuzz that he'd used for all those years. And she said, if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me. I went, oh, fair enough. And lo and behold, I think I ordered one off eBay next day, and it didn't cost very much. I think it was like £35 or something. I got it. I understood why she was saying it. Unfortunately, the controls aren't the greatest. They aren't made particularly sturdily, but at that price, and they're a common pedal. It's easy to get a hold of them, but it will take the roof off your house if you don't use it properly. So that was my main fuzz pedal, and then the next thing was the MXR Bass Fuzz Deluxe review on the channel, of course. And I got that in for a Jimi Hendrix theatre show that I just started playing in as we went into lockdown. So it did one gig, and that was it. And now I've got like a bunch of different fuzzes, all sounding different, using for different things. George, Luthier was adjusting and stringing my Ibanez micro bass. Okay. Kevin, maybe if you're doing fuzz, having a distortion and overdrive for comparison would be good. Absolutely. I can pull those out as well. Nick D, you tried F1 fretboard oil, Brooksy? Yes, I have. I'm a big Music Nomad fan. I've got loads of Music Nomad stuff here. So yes, I've got the F1. Lovely stuff. You're using a DAM Ezekiel clone at the moment. Pretty versatile, and a Maestro Brassmaster clone. Okay. Dan Electro, great pedals, but build quality can vary. Exactly that. Yeah. So what are those pedals like? Are they good, bad, indifferent? Not what you expected? Better than you expected? Really should get the headstock in, if nothing else. There you go. I'm flying the flag, Barry. Promise. Yeah, we're doing Dead or Alive. You spin me around like a record, baby, in the Uncle Funk show. It's years since I've had to play that bass line. I think I last played it in 1998. And in my old covers band, we mooted doing it. And it was on the list to do, and we never got around to it before I left the band. And all of a sudden now it's in the new Decades of Dance song list. It's a lovely line to play, but it's an absolute rascal. It's I've unplugged, but it's do it right, mate. Ha. Yeah. Played it last week, and in the full flight of rehearsal, things that go by fast are fine. When you sat down playing it, all the mistakes come out. And then you've got the lovely. Tis what it is. Let's see some messages there. Stacey, that was a dance floor jam over here. Yeah, still a big hit here. Still a big song here. Nick D, Ezekiel sounds huge with 4 different clipping options. Okay, the originals are rare and crazy expensive, so you built your own. Oh, cool. Was trying to spot the Dead or Alive tune. What a great bass line. It is. I think it's a sample bass line. I don't think it's actually played because it was recorded, produced by Stockache and Waterman. And they were heavily into samples and all of that. And I don't know. It sounds like someone's recorded a bass player slapping some notes and then they've mimicked it all together. It's a blighter to play. It really is. It's a tricky one, but it's fine. We'll get there. Once I get into playing it regularly, it'll become second nature. But I only ever played it once for one show before last weekend. And now I'm going to be doing it probably a couple of times a week. And there's all little like half beat pushes. Great. Just what I want, but there we are. Okay, it's 7 minutes past 11 here in London town. Brooksy's Bass Corner, live chat 75. I think we'll just do another couple of minutes and I'll let you lovely people head off to bed if you're here in the UK. If you're on the other side of the pond, you've got the rest of your evening ahead. How wonderful. And we'll be doing it all again next Tuesday, every Tuesday through till 17th of December. And as I said earlier, when we get to Christmas, we'll take a very short break and then we will do some Saturday live chats. So it could well be we do Tuesdays and Saturdays. It's a possibility, maybe. If you're watching this live chat after the event, don't worry that the live chat's finished, the conversation is finished. You can carry on the conversation by leaving comments in the comments section. As soon as I get a notification from YouTube that you've commented, I will reply. I'm pretty good at replies. That's my thing. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're going to give it a thumbs down, then please let me know why. Leave a comment for that. Feel free to share the videos. And yeah, leaving comments, liking the videos, sharing, all good things. Please do that. You'll help the video, help the channel. As I said earlier, in the description box, you'll find affiliate links. You'll find merchandise links for Brooksy's Bass Corner merchandise. If you want caps, t-shirts, you can't see because the microphone's in the way. This is one of the Bass Legend quote shirts. This is Mr. Leland Sklar's shirt. You don't have to have it in charcoal grey. There are white ones, black ones. They're all there on the Spreadshirt and Spreadshop sites. So we have 15 designs across about 150 products: t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, caps, hats, water bottles, mouse mats, all sorts. Check it out if you want to help the channel. Super chat facilities there, of course, if you want to make a super chat contribution to the channel. Super thanks for those who are watching after the event. And yeah, Kev Allen, see you next week, Tuesday, for Maximum Fuzziness. I will try and remember. If I forget, gang, remind me at the start of the live chat. I'll try and make sure I've got access to all my pedals. George Gandara, Lee Sklar, living legend. Interview on the channel, George, if you want to check it out. Hold on, I'll get you a link. Make it really easy for you. I interviewed him in 2016 and we had an absolute blast. He was lovely. We still communicate occasionally. And he actually came on one of the live chats last summer when we had Neil Fairclough on. Actually, no, he didn't come on that one. He was on the one the week before with Dave Swift and my old editor, Joel McIver from Bass Guitar Magazine and Bass Player. And Lee popped in, said hello, and disappeared. He was in the studio recording at the time. So we let him off. If you want to check out that interview, there you go. There's the link. Kev Allen, we check your merch, but I have a set of yellow bassist requires band shirts. Yeah, I know the drill with those, Kev. Okay, I think we're going to wind this one down. Thank you very much, everyone, for attending tonight's live chat. It's been an absolute blast. Kev, salute to you. Fabulous. Dawson, same to you. Nick D, welcome. George, good to see you. All the others, been fabulous. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for making it very enjoyable. We will do it all again next Tuesday, same time, same place, 8 o'clock here in London town. If you got any messages during the week, you can send them to brooksyspaccorner@gmail.com. I'll come back to you as soon as I can. You can find us on all the Instagram, Twitter, Twitter X, Facebook, TikTok. We're there. Oh, I forgot to mention before I go, Aria Guitars got in touch this week. Loved my video, my 60-second bass review on TikTok. Shared it. Getting loads of followers. Fabulous. Thank you, Aria. Very much appreciated. There'll be a load of other Aria stuff going up shortly. I've got a couple of basses to review and demo, so keep your eyes peeled. Kev Allen, they're great for chatting to other bassists. Yes, the T-shirts, excellent. Steffi, take care, everyone. See you next week. On that note, I'm going to love you and leave you. Have a great week. Enjoy your bass playing. You got any problems? Email me. Find me on social media. If I can help, more than happy to do so. Please give the video a thumbs up. Share it out there. Leave comments. Anything you want to watch on the channel, it's all free. Get your feet wet. Enjoy. On that note, I'll let you have a great week. I'll see you next Tuesday. Take it easy, gang. See you soon. Bye-bye.